out of scholarships right now at this day, but in January we're going to put him on scholarship.
That's awesome.
I think he's earned that, and we're awful happy to be able to do that. But he was happy and excited and probably thought in his mind it's about time.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from hitthatline.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one razorback. Not but one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
So Mondays after a win, there's usually not a lot of negatives that get thrown out. There's not a lot of people calling in and say, hey, this needs to happen, this needs to happen, this needs to happen. But after you got your couple days of celebration, the win is marinated a little bit, you're looking back and saying, hey, they probably need to work on this and this and this in order to have a chance against Texas A&M. What needs to be corrected with this football team? That's a conversation we're going to get to up here on the Morning Rush. It's big this week that they have a bye so they can get healthy. We got to talk about Hudson Clark and Grant Morgan a little more as they were recognized by the SEC, as well as welcome in Clay Henry at 7 o'clock this morning. However you may be listening this morning, we really do appreciate it, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter for our video stream. Hitthatline.com. If you have a smart speaker, all you got to do is play ESPN Arkansas, and we'll pop right in. We're going to have, again, Clay Henry join us at 7 o'clock and get his takes and thoughts on the game. And then also we're going to be joined on Thursday by Sam Pittman. He's going to be joining us at 8 o'clock, so really excited about that.
Yeah, so good to everybody's a little more relaxed on a bye week, certainly coming off a win, and that's why winning going into the bye week, I think, is important. It counts for a little more because think about your mood when you got 2 weeks to celebrate and marinate and just be in a little better mood a little bit longer, So I think always when you win going into a bye week, it just it's better for your program. It's better for your fan base, especially. Now the team's, in healing and relaxing mode a little bit, and I'm sure they're practicing and correcting things. Sam talked about that yesterday, but he's all about, when you listen to him yesterday with the media, getting these bodies healed up because he said there's no way we can go through 6 games if we don't get right this week.
And you can text in or call in anytime if you think there's something that Arkansas really needs to help and improve on. And as Tommy mentioned, it is going to be good that they do have a bye week this week, especially since they're about to have to go through a 6-game gauntlet, which includes A&M and includes Florida and it includes Alabama at the tail end of your schedule. So it's important for Arkansas to get as healthy as humanly possible heading in to this next weekend.
Yeah, Sam was talking about how much contact or, a question was asked yesterday about the level of contact or physicality over the next couple of weeks. He said, well, not much, not a whole lot because we got to get healthy. And so, we had already JR and Harrison sent a text in this morning talking about working on the running game. That's a good one, JR, and you're right. They need to establish more of a running game. But, Ty, how do you really do that when Sam's right? You can't really go out there and knock heads a lot here these next 10 days or so because you don't want to beat anybody up. I mean, that's the hard part as a coach. And what Sam was also talking about is normally you take a bye week and work your young guys, get your young guys ready to play. Well, your young guys are already playing. So, I mean, there's really not a need to go have freshman practice or true freshman practice or whatever. There's not a lot of young guys that aren't playing right now.
Yeah, which is good for the experience of this football team, especially since your depth has already been issued early on. I know Jackson Woodard, Hudson Clark, those are just a few walk-ons that have played. I'm probably missing one or two as we continue to talk about this morning. But they're guys that you never anticipated playing this year, but because of injury, because of COVID stuff, they have gotten on the field. And that's good for just the fabric of this football team, just in case they are called upon and needed to be called upon again, which I would anticipate if you have 6 straight SEC games just based on the injuries and the COVID-related stuff that you've already had to this point. So that needs to continue. You need to continue to get effort. And I know that Chris Doreen and Peter Burns on SEC this morning had Sam Pittman on, which you were talking about, and those were some of the questions they asked. They also asked about Hudson Clark, he is going to be put on scholarship as of January, so I know Sam Pittman's excited about that. The audio you heard in our open was from Justin Moore's podcast with Sam talking to him, so it's really cool. I was texting Justin yesterday. It's like, you broke news, man. He's like, yeah, it was kind of cool. So it's just a lot of good things happening for this football program. But again, you got to take your Razorback lenses off for a sec, and there are going to be some things that they need to improve on in order to beat Texas A&M. This is a top 10 football team. This is a defense that sacked KJ Costello 6 times last week. Jimbo Fisher 3-1 to this point. They got blown out by Alabama, but they are looking to make some noise in the SEC West. This is a matchup truly that determines who the second best team in the SEC West is.
Yep, that's a good point.
And that is that's as weird as that sounds that Arkansas is in that conversation in year number 1 of Sam Pittman. You are finding out as of next Saturday at 6:30 who the second best team in the SEC West is.
Well, here's one thing you do know: you're not going to finish in the bottom of the division. Now you got a chance to finish in the top half of the division, and here's a chance to get that signature win. You're 2-2, as we all know, should be 3-1, but you're not. Here's a chance to get a signature win for Sam Pittman. And we were talking before the show about maybe Coach of the Year honors and some things like that. You want to keep Sam in those conversations, and so there's some people throwing his name around. Listen, you're going to have to win in a 10-game season, probably 7 or 8 ball games minimum to really be there at the end of the year for that. You're going to have a win like this on the road, a place like A&M, to really have his name in a conversation like that. He needs a signature victory. Here's a great opportunity to go do that.
And this isn't, again, too far out of the realm of possibility because I know Texas A&M is 3-1 to this point, but they haven't looked just spectacular. They barely beat Vanderbilt in week 1. They got crushed by Alabama. They did beat Mississippi State, and I'm forgetting their other win to this point. But this is not a team that you're just like, whoa, they're going to blow you out.
Yeah, they beat Florida.
Florida, yeah, 41-38, if I remember that correctly. So, or 38-35, one of the two. So that was a big-time home win for them. And Texas A&M, you've just had this whatever that has prevented you from beating them ever since 2012. You got blown out in 2012 in College Station. You held it together in 2013, and then we know about the games, how close they were in Jerry World basically ever since 2014. This is an opportunity as the game has moved to College Station that you can go in and, as Tommy mentioned, get a big-time program-altering win against a top team in the country and a team that it's been over 3,300 days since you beat Texas A&M. 3,300 days.
You know, not that you don't feel like you know what Arkansas is at this point, the good and the bad, but, you know, A&M has played Alabama and Florida at this point. Now, Arkansas has played Georgia and Auburn, but when you say Bama and Florida's a little step up from that schedule.
It absolutely is.
You know, so
as excited as you are to this point,
right.
A&M has played a tough schedule.
I think you feel like you know a little bit more about where A&M truly is than maybe Arkansas, because I just think their schedule's been a little more difficult to this point.
And if it wasn't, now if you had another top tier team with the addition of Georgia, then you could have more of the conversation. But Texas A&M has played a more difficult schedule to this point because they both have Florida and Alabama. Mm-hmm. You were close against Auburn. You wish you could have that one back, but you can't have it back. Mm-hmm. It's gone. So that's something, obviously, that Arkansas fans are going to be wanting to take advantage of this weekend. And it's just you hate Texas A&M.
It's time. It's time. I mean, it's just time to
what do you always say? They're due?
Well, they're due.
We're due.
That theory, due. Hey, that theory hasn't worked very well for a while.
Maybe it'll work this year.
I mean, I've been saying that for a while. So
coach.
Eventually that's going to be right.
Yeah. And we have a lot to impact this more. We've already got a bunch of texts from all you determining and making the assumption of what this team needs to improve on. Continue to text us in 877-377-6963. It is a Toyota Tuesday. Be sure to check out the full lineup of 2020 Toyotas, including the Camry, the Corolla, the Prius, the Avalon, or the spacious crossover RAV4. Do it at your local Toyota dealer here in Arkansas. Toyota, let's go places. All right, coming up, we've talked about how important this bye week is for the health of this football team. They got to get guys healthy. You got to get Bumper Pool healthy. You got to get Montaric Brown healthy. You got to get even Traylon Burks, who wasn't 100% healthy. Rakeem Boyd, not 100% healthy. You have to get these guys geared up and ready to go because this streak we're talking about where you haven't beaten Texas A&M in over 3,300 days, you want that to end. Health is a big factor of that. All that's coming up on the Morning Rush. Stay with us.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
Hi, I'm Bill Bolton of NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins. I started in this business in 1972 at an auction house that specialized in antique and estate jewelry, sterling silver, and coins. In that time, I've seen gold go from $35 an ounce to today's price of $1,683. I want to talk to you about the coins you may have inherited and how important it is to deal with someone who understands coins and this market. In 2011, we had a mother and daughter come into our store and sell us a lot of jewelry they no longer wore for $3,300. The daughter then pulled out an 1850 California $10 gold piece. Jeremy offered her $900 and she accepted his offer. He then advised her to have this coin graded. She did, and she sold it for $36,000. If you don't know what you have, please come see Jeremy in our Bentonville store. Don't sell it in an auction or an estate sale and get less money. What's in your safety deposit box could be worth thousands. NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins, Bentonville, Fayetteville.
The all-new Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas wants you to get out and explore this fall. Wheels has the luxury brands you can depend on to keep you camping. Brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, you can relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. See, explore, discover with Wheels RV. The biggest selection and the lowest prices on a new Buick are at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 2020 Buick Encore has plenty of cargo space and it's loaded with technology, only $19,995. And the 2020 Buick Envision has all the features and seating for 5. Take $9,000 off, only $28,985. The biggest selection and the lowest prices are at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
When you want a beer, you go to a bar. When you want top-shelf spirits, wines, handcrafted cocktails, and cigars in an atmosphere befitting a destination, you go to 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge. Try our new menu items, including fish and chips, classic club sandwiches, Caesar and Cobb salads, or stick to your favorites. Dine in or carry out. Enjoy our state-of-the-art air filtration system. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith. Doors open at 4 Tuesday through Saturday.
B&J Comfort Solutions provides home comfort and energy solutions to the River Valley, specializing in residential sales, service, and installation, offering only the absolute best customer service around. Call them for any of your service, maintenance, or replacement needs. B&J Comfort Solutions offer an industry-leading 5-year labor warranty on all new system installations. Veteran-owned and operated, and satisfaction is always guaranteed. Contact B&J Comfort Solutions today at 479-646-0284.
The bloodline of any modern business is their computer network, data storage, and supporting hardware. So who takes care of one of the most important aspects of your business? Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren can handle all your networking services like cabling, firewall, routers, and VPNs to hardware and software protection from virus and malware. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren, 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag Technology without the headache.
Congratulations, you're having a little girl.
At that moment, everything changed. Our hopes and dreams for ourselves were instantly replaced by our hopes and dreams for her. We got life insurance policies from Shelter Insurance, so that regardless of what life throws at us, we'll still be able to provide the world to her.
Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Ask Shelter agents Brandon Zimmerman or Chris Dooley about a free insurance review.
I'm Steve Womack, a candidate for Congress, and I approve this message. Over the next couple of months, our nation will make one of the biggest decisions in the history of our democracy. Unlike elections in the past, we won't just be casting our votes for different candidates. Instead, we will be voting for two different ways of life. I ran for Congress because America needed strong leaders. As a businessman, former mayor, retired colonel, and now your congressman, I'm standing firm to protect our country from those like Nancy Pelosi and the Democrat left wing who are dividing our country and pursuing a socialist agenda that threatens our economy and our domestic security. They must be defeated. Failure is not an option. The stakes are high. I'm asking you to stand with us. Vote absentee, vote early, or vote on November 3rd. Just vote. Our nation depends on it. Paid for by Womack for Congress.
Dee's Family Restaurant of Alma at 39 Column Lane across from the water park is now reopened and ready to serve you. We're open 5:30 a.m. to 9 p.m. 7 days a week. Breakfast is served all day and our full menu is available at 10:30 a.m. All you can eat steak on Thursday night, cooked order prime rib on Friday night, and now we deliver on Waiter. Curbside and to-go is still available. Call ahead 632-1014.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Crabb.
Deep corner route. Hudson Clark's there and he intercepts it. Hudson Clark with the pick at the Ole Miss 48, and the Razorbacks take it away for the second time.
I'm going to try this call-in number.
Call or text The Morning Rush at 877-377-6963.
My first official call-in.
We'll get into more in Hudson Clark coming up here on the Morning Rush and the impact he's already had on this football team. We'll also get into your calls and texts, including yours, Josh and Mina. Before we do that, I want to tell you about our friends at Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yeah, B-Dub's Sauce Alert. They got 4 new sauces on the menu, so listen up. Pizza sauce, which my boy Ty here, he loves pizza. So now you can have pizza and wings together. You can have wings and dip it in the new pizza sauce there at Buffalo Wild Wings. Lemon pepper, that's always a classic. The new orange sauce that comes with a fortune cookie on the side. And you like the hot stuff, so the Carolina Reaper sauce has moved into the captain's chair at B-Dubs. It's the new blazing sauce. So you can try any of these new sauces, plus the new cauliflower wings. Try those as well, all at Buffalo Wild Wings. Locations in Little Rock, Fort Smith, Sherwood, Jonesboro, and in Conway. I want to go back to something we were talking about yesterday, because I've read 2 different things. So we were talking about Barry Odom's buyout. I was quoting something or reading something from USA Today yesterday that had his buyout at $2.365 million. And then I've read another deal last night from STL Today, the St. Louis newspaper, that had his buyout at a much smaller amount. So I don't know what to believe on that now, because there's 2 vastly different reports on that. But I have a hard time believing, Ty, in the SEC today that a head coach would have a buyout of less than $700,000 a year. That a coach making $3 million a year could get fired and only get like $600 and something thousand a year. So I don't know which to believe on his buyout. But the point is, if the latter is true, basically his salary at Arkansas would be eating up his buyout, and he wouldn't have one from Missouri.
Yeah, I was letting you handle that yesterday. I didn't.
I've read 2 different things out there. One from USA Today, one from a paper in St. Louis, and they're 2 different reports, more or less. That his buyout was basically less than a year's salary. I have a hard time believing that if he has, that an agent would allow that to happen. That a city, because Eli Drinkowitz's buyout today, if they fired him today, is $14 million at Missouri. So I don't know which one to believe. I pulled the tweet down because I don't know what's right.
What year was Barry in at Mizzou? Because he took over Pinkel in.
I was looking at it yesterday. Then he got making 2-something, then they raised him to 3, and then they fired him. So
he took over in 2016.
He had 4 years.
Yeah, something. It was
anyway.
I don't think it exceeded.
Point
5.
is, maybe his buyout didn't. I mean, there's 2 different reports, and I just want to say, if I was wrong, I'm wrong. But I just read what a national newspaper had on it. But
I have no idea.
I don't know. I'm not an expert on Barry Odom's contract at Missouri, but so it may matter more than I thought it did. But I just can't believe a sitting head coach in the SEC would have a buyout. But maybe he just didn't have the leverage when he was the D coordinator and he was the 4th choice, 3rd or 4th choice there. Maybe he just took what they offered. I don't know. I know Drinkwitz. I was reading through this yesterday, though. You'd be amazed at some of the buyouts that it would cost some of these schools right now to fire some coaches. There are several north of $40 million to get rid of these guys.
Oh, yeah. Coaches have all the leverage. So
unbelievable.
That's why another
Gus. I was looking. Gus is still at $21 million. Everybody talking about firing Gus. Well, they're going to fire Gus. No, they're not. They got to pay him $21 million.
And they renegotiated that too, if I remember that correctly.
According to the database I was looking at yesterday with USA, that $21 million on December 1st, 2020 to fire him.
And I would say that 90-something% of you are already on board with Sam Pittman to this point. Well, another aspect, if you want to point it to another reason, that you really enjoy him is he's not gutting you from a salary standpoint. Now, that could change if he keeps winning, and you obviously have to pay the man, but at least from that perspective, you like that as well.
I don't know which one's right. I just can't believe his buyout would be that small as a head coach in the SEC.
I would say I would try and speak to this, but I have no idea.
Well, I just know no one else's is. Yeah. But even Derek Mason's is better than that.
All right, let's go to the land of the Bearcats and welcome in Josh in Mina. Josh, you were on the Morning Rush, man.
Good morning, boys. How are you?
Man, okay. Happy Tuesday.
Yeah, happy Tuesday. Talk about Hunter Yurachek. I just want to say what a stud for the hires that he has made for all the programs. Did he hire Mike Neighbors?
He did not hire the coaches he has hired. He's hired Sam Pittman, obviously. He's hired the women's tennis coach. He's hired gymnastics coach who Jordan. I would say it's Weber.
Yep.
And then he might have hired. There's one more coach that I think he might have hired.
Musselman.
Yeah, Musselman. Yeah. And then I want to say
how
there's
could you
one
forget
more.
Eric Musselman?
Well, he was saving it for last. He didn't forget.
Yeah. My goodness, the hires that he has made. I mean, he is a stud, and I am 100% on board with Sam Pittman and Barry Odom. Kendall Browse is going to get the offense going shortly. I am ecstatic. I'm loving it, and I'm tickled to death. That's all I got.
Josh, appreciate the call this morning.
A lot of people feel the way you do, Josh.
Yeah, I would say that people are really ecstatic. And listen, we've given a lot of credit to Barry Odom. We've given a lot of credit to Sam Pittman, some credit to Kendall Browse as well. But let's not forget who was the guy that went out on the limb and hired this guy, because this was not a liked hire. I was reading a bunch of these coaching reviews yesterday following the hires of Kiffin, Leach, Norvell, and all this, and all of them destroyed Hunter Yurachek and his hiring process and who he went with in Sam Pittman. And listen, journalists and college football reporters and analysts, they're not the determining factor of whether a hire is good or not. But I know that Hunter Yurachek was getting a lot of heat initially from the national media on his decision to go with Sam Pittman, and those same media members are now praising him for the hire he's made. That's a credit to him going with his gut. That's a credit to Sam Pittman and the staff under Pittman as well to this point. Now, there's a lot of football left. You still got 6 games, so we'll see how this goes. But to this point, I think you're really excited about where this football program is headed, and a lot of that credit not only goes to Sam Pittman, but Hunter Yurachek with going with his decision.
Goodness gracious, they've already met most people's expectations. How many calls did? Well, they'll win one.
Exceeded mine. I said one.
You said one. Well, you were being safe. You were hugging the tree. You weren't out on the limb. You were hugging the trunk.
I was just so sick of getting burned by this team.
But, how many times we didn't really argue about it, but I said, last year has nothing to do with this year. And I think we're kind of seeing that a little bit, right? I mean, what happened a year ago? Well, you can't win more than a game or two. You didn't look how the last 2 years have played out. Well, it's just different leadership. Why coaching, it matters, what we're seeing. So, hey, you know what matters in your business? Internet. You don't have very good internet, you're probably not going to win more than about 2 games because you got to have good internet for your business to win. Pinnacle Telecom can provide that for you with fiber to the door. You pick your speed, you name your speed. Upload speed, download speed. They have their own fiber network in the River Valley, and they can help you with high-speed internet in Northwest Arkansas as well with fiber to your door. Call them at 479-242-0000. They do voice-over IP business telephone systems as well. That's Pinnacle Telecom, the people we trust. 242-0000.
Quick hitting headlines coming up, including reacting to the Chiefs and the Cowboys games last night.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
Born in Arkansas, designed in the Swiss Alps, and field tested all over the world, Canis Tactical Hunting Gear will allow you to hunt longer, farther, and in more comfort than ever before. Whether you are hunting early or late season whitetails, chasing greenheads in the timber, or stalking elk in the west, our layering system has you covered. We're a direct-to-consumer company, so shop our website at canisathlete.com and use the code Arkansas to receive 15% off your first order. Follow us on social at Canis Athlete for updates and new product launches. Be the wolf.
At Toyota, today's the day to score a great deal. That means today's the day to take a ride in your thrilling new Camry. Today's the day to scale new heights in your powerful new RAV4 Hybrid. Or maybe today's the day to turn heads in your stylish new Corolla. Today's the perfect day to tackle a new outdoor project in your tough new Tundra. Today might even be the day to go as far as the road will take you with the epic range of your new Highlander Hybrid. Today's the day to save on all your favorites like the Toyota Camry, Corolla, RAV4, Highlander, Tundra, and more. But hurry, this offer ends soon. Head into your Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places.
Qualified buyers can get 0% APR financing for 60 months or a total bonus of $2,500 on a new 2021 Tundra Special Edition. Participating dealers only. Visit buyatoyota.com for details. Offers available in select states and end 11/2/20.
Full-time farmers, hobby farmers, and landowners, your time is important. Make the most out of that time with a brand new Branson tractor from Bush Machine and Tractor in Fort Smith. With tractors from 19 to 105 horsepower, we have a tractor that will fit your needs. Ask Bush Machine and Tractor about their special financing options and free loader rebates. Bush Machine and Tractor in Fort Smith is Arkansas's #1 Branson dealer. Check their inventory at bushtractor.com.
Do you have sleep apnea? Are you tired of dealing with a CPAP every night? The noise, the constant cleaning, your wife telling you she can't take the noise anymore. Dr. Bo Sparkman at Family Dental Care of Fort Smith can help you with sleep apnea with a custom dental appliance that allows you to get rid of that annoying CPAP. Dr. Sparkman has years of experience and has treated hundreds of patients just like you. Call for your appointment today, 785-1419. That's 785-1419. Get rid of your CPAP with Family Dental Care of Fort Smith.
Your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith is now open for dine-in, curbside to-go, and delivery for both lunch and dinner, 7 days a week. TGI Fridays is taking your safety seriously, following every guideline. Enjoy Fridays favorites like appetizers, burgers, sandwiches, salads, all the great Fridays, signature entrees, kids meals, and great desserts. TGI Fridays, now open for dine-in, curbside to-go, and delivery. Call 479-484-0906. That's 484-0906. Or order online at Fridays.com. Your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 in Rogers and Fort Smith.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Hi, I'm Greg Magnus, and I'm running for Sebastian County Circuit Judge.
We've been all around Sebastian County asking voters who they're supporting for Circuit Judge, and this is what we're hearing.
Greg Magnus.
Oh, Greg Magnus, of course.
Greg Magnus is a Christian gentleman, a caring family man, and a well-respected attorney.
Greg possesses a great deal of knowledge, experience, character, and integrity.
Your vote is important. My name is Greg Magnus, and I'm asking for your vote on November 3rd.
And paid for by the committee to elect Greg Magnus.
They say, trust the process. But if enjoyment isn't part of that process, don't trust the process. Michelob Ultra, superior light beer. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
New Bud Light Seltzer?
Yep.
A hard seltzer with a hint of fruit flavor.
Yep.
Can I try one?
Yep.
That tastes great.
Told ya.
Bud Light Seltzer, unquestionably good. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Seltzer, IRC Beers, beer in Texas, St. Louis, Missouri.
You always get more at Orr.
We always put the customer first at Orr Chevrolet in Fort Smith. Since 1924, the Orr family of dealerships has grown based on one simple principle. Give the customer more money for their trades and give them a lower price on their new vehicle. It's a simple concept, really, but one that very few dealers honor anymore. Hey, we know you paid a lot of money for your vehicle, and Orr Chevrolet wants to pay you the maximum amount for it today. Then we'll give you an awesome price on a new Chevrolet. But we're not done giving you more. Included with any new vehicle sold. Orr Chevy will also give you a lifetime powertrain warranty, 2 years of free maintenance, and free car washes for life. So come get a lower price and more money for your trade today at Orr Chevrolet on Auto Park Drive in Fort Smith and 24/7 at OrChevyFS.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You always get more at Orr.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Corral going to throw far side. Pass is intercepted. Hudson Hudson Clark with the interception. He went down right away, but Hudson Clark with the pick.
Video streaming live on Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube.
The only thing that I watch on Facebook is the Morning Rush. That's it.
Hudson Clark has been the name on everyone's mind, and we'll get into more of what he was able to do on Saturday and what he's been for the season and kind of the dilemma that Sam Carter and Barry Odom face with Monteric Brown likely being back in 2 weeks for the Texas A&M game as far as playing time is concerned. It is a Toyota Tuesday. Be sure to check out the full lineup of 2020 Toyotas, including the Camry, that I drive every single day, the Toyota Corolla, the Prius, the Avalon, or the spacious crossover RAV4, and do it at your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. Our Morning Rush poll question is, what does this Arkansas team need to improve on the most? At any time, if y'all want to call or text in, you're welcome to do that. It's 877-377-6963. You've already got a couple texts about that. I know that Daniel's wondering about the offense and special teams, Tommy, which hasn't been up to what many people thought it would be, especially on special teams to this point.
I mean, to me, special teams is where you could really have a lot of conversation. I mean, obviously, punt protection is where they have, cost themselves a game at Auburn by having a punt blocked in the end zone that resulted in an immediate score. You just think about if that punt would have been blocked and just caromed out of the end zone, resulted in a safety versus a touchdown. Just think about that misfortune right there and how the ball bounced on the block. That's good coaching on Auburn's part. You assume there's a good coaching, good fortune. I don't know. I'll let you decide out there which one it is. But either way, they got a touchdown instead of 2. Well, that 5 points ultimately difference in the ball game.
Mm-hmm.
So, good coaching. If you're going to get it blocked, see if you can kick it out of the back of the end zone real quick or something. So, punt protection would be one place you could zero in real quick.
Yeah, and
then another one. Can we get in a legal formation? Now that improved this last week. But we can't seem to get lined up right and get everybody on the line of scrimmage in a punt formation. Now, that was better this last week, but how many times have we had not enough men on the line of scrimmage in an illegal formation in special teams? That's a problem, too.
A lot of problems that this team needs to clean up if order they're going to have a chance to beat Texas A&M.
Is this all at the feet of Scott Fountain? Well, I mean, he's the special teams coordinator, but I'm sure he's not coaching them to line up in the wrong positions. At some point, the players got to go out there and do what they're coached to do.
Quick hitting headlines going up. Before we do that, I want to get into a couple calls. Pilot Mike is in Tulsa. Pilot Mike, what does Arkansas need to improve on in order to beat the Aggies, man?
Well, first off, good morning. I'm calling from you. I'm holding short of a runway over at Tulsa International, about to fly down to Dallas.
All right.
But, anywho.
Hope you have a smooth flight.
It looks like it ought to be pretty good. But, anywho, I just think that Arkansas needs to improve on getting push, and they need to run downhill. I mean, the jet sweep is great, and the misdirections are great, but at this point, we've got to run the football like our defense plays, and that's tough and hard-nosed. And that's all I got for you. I appreciate you taking my call.
All right. Smooth flight this morning. Do you need to also think about maybe Treylon Burks a little more involved in the run game? And he's talking about get rid of the jet sweeps and run more downhill. But he's one of your best athletes. He's one of your studs. I know you want Pilot Mike, you're talking about getting rid of some of the razzle-dazzle, but that's football anymore. The jet sweeps, the end-arounds, those kind of things. I mean, I want to get him in space like we're talking about with the football. Make the first man miss, and you're going to get – you may not score, but you can get 10 or 12, you're going to get a first down. You can get 10, 12, 15 yards.
Hasn't Kendall been doing that, though?
Yeah, I want to see more of it, though.
More than what he just had on Saturday? He had over –
Rushing. He had 11 catches.
Also had over 46. I mean, here's my thing. You always talk about the pop pass as an extension of the run. Isn't the read option that they're doing with him in space basically just an extended option?
True.
So that's basically
Don't
the
use
same
my own
thing.
words against me in an argument.
That's basically the same thing as far as that goes. So, I mean, those catches that you were talking about, they're basically, if you're going to say that, they're just an extension. So he's involved in the run. I mean, I don't know how much more involved he can be than he was on Saturday.
We do see other teams, though, do end-arounds, jet sweeps, stuff where they're bringing a receiver in motion across and doing handoffs behind the quarterback,
Haven't those gotten blown up to this point, though, for the most part? I think
I'm talking about other teams that do it and do it effectively. I think you've got a good athlete in Treylon Burks that could pull some of that stuff off. I don't think it's going to surprise anybody, but I think he's good enough to beat some teams.
I think what Kendall's been doing,
he's got speed. You don't have a lot of speed in places. Use your speed to beat people.
I think when they have run those type of reverses, whether it's him or Mike, those have got or Davion, they've gotten blown up. But when they've run those read options with him out in the flats, which is just like you've said, an extension of the run, that's what they need to be doing because it's been working.
He did not have a rushing attempt in Saturday's game.
So,
I'm just saying he could be involved in that a little more. So
I think he had 40. I thought he had like 46 rushing yards. Did he not? Are they counting those an extension of line of scrimmage?
I don't have. Hang on. Looked at the wrong one. Four rushes, 46 yards.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to say I thought he had that. So, but those. I mean, all those.
I was looking on the front page. I had to go to the second page.
All those are an extension of that. So I mean. All what it comes down to is he's being utilized more than he was in Chad Morris. Like he's had 200+ yard games in 4 games under Kendall Briles, and he didn't have a single one under Chad Morris and Joe Craddock all of last year. So as far as him being utilized, I think there's other players that they need to be able to get to as far because I think Tim to this point through 4 games, the only reason he wasn't utilized in Auburn and against Mississippi State is because of injured against Auburn and then Mississippi State, just dealing with that. So,
is he just a bigger Joe Adams, maybe? Just a guy you can use in a lot of places, special teams, rushing, receiving. He's just a big, fast guy that can do a lot of things for you.
He can do a lot of things. Yeah. And luckily, Kendall's been actually taking advantage of that at this point. All right, back to the phone lines. Welcoming in Danny in Russellville. Danny, you're on the Morning Rush.
Yeah, guys, I'd like to see Trey Knox get back in the groove. We need to get him going. The next game, maybe right out of the gate, make some safe passes to him, get him a little confidence, get going. He's tall, big receiver. We need all the help we can get. And Felipe Franks, I'd like to see him get rid of the ball a little faster, quit getting hit. But I'm happy with what we're doing. And the other night on Hog Reaction, a guy called in and said that all of the Arkansas sports were overachieving. He included baseball, basketball, all of it. I just disagree. I don't think we're overachieving. I think we're getting back to where we should be. Don't you agree?
I don't know how you could say overachieving, no.
Well, he seemed to think we were punching above our weight. Like there's only so high a ceiling little old Arkansas could make. I don't agree. I think we're a sleeping giant. If you can win Clemson, South Carolina, why can't you win in Fayetteville, Arkansas? What about Durham, North Carolina, Duke? What's special about that? It's the program. It's not the place they reside. What separates the big boys from the little boys is the program, the players. Yeah. And you got to love what Eric Musselman's doing. I mean, he's got so many people that he's offered. I can't keep up with him. He's like the Energizer Bunny. I don't know. He's got so many scholarships out there, but I trust him, and I think we're going to be a powerhouse. Yeah. And we're coming back in football where we should be. And guys, have a good day, and thanks for taking my call.
Thank you, Danny.
If you're going to say they're overachieving, I think they're overachieving through 4 games. Now, as far as a football program is concerned, because let me get this. I just want to make sure, because I know I was not saying they were going to go 2-2. You didn't say they were going to start on 2-2, right?
Ruskin said they were going to be 2-2.
But to us, they're overachieving to this point, right? That's the only facet of
they've exceeded my expectations to this point. I don't know if I'd go as far as overachieving, but they've exceeded my expectations.
I would say they've overachieved in terms of the thought process going into the season. Now, as a football program, that's an incorrect statement. This program is not overachieving based on where they've been. But if you want to narrow it down, Danny, to one season, and this season through 4 games, I can at least get on board with that mindset.
I'd say this is where I'm at. The appetizer. I'm at a really nice restaurant. The appetizer's been really good, and I'm really pleased with the salad so far. The Caesar salad's really good. I haven't gotten to the entree yet. We're 4 games in. I mean, let's not draw conclusions on this season. No one's going. If they go 0-6 down the stretch, no one's going to be happy about this. We're all going to be what happened? There's going to be a lot of questions if that happened down the stretch. So let's just enjoy where we're at. They're ahead of schedule compared to where we thought they'd be, but they've beaten 2 of the 3 teams that we focused on in the offseason, the M schools. So, all right, you want to do some quick hitting headlines, or are we going to get back to the phones?
Whatever you want to do.
Let's do a couple quick hitting headlines, then we'll go to William. Quick hitting headlines are brought to you by United Welding Institute in Pottsville. Hey, make a difference for you and your family. Earn $2,800 a week when you go to United Welding Institute because they're getting their students great high-paying jobs in fields like the oil fields, pipelines, power plants, refineries, and a lot of great places that need qualified welders right now. United Welding Institute is in Pottsville. They've been training professional, field-tested welders since 2013. So change your life. Call 479-968-3390 and try a new field where you can make real money. Again, up to $2,800 a week on average for their students right now. 479-968-3390 or visit UnitedWeldingInstitute.com.
The SEC announced the awards yesterday. Good news for Arkansas. Hudson Clark named SEC Freshman of the Week, and then Grant Morgan named SEC Co-Defensive Player of the Week. So you did get some recognition from the SEC office as far as that goes. And I know a lot of people were really ecstatic not to just see Grant or Hudson recognized, Tommy, but both those guys recognized.
Yep, and you thought maybe Hudson would be on that defensive player, but both statistically, it's a great way to kind of, the old adage, split the baby here and give them both some love.
We brought this up earlier, and it was at the top of our open. Justin Moore had Sam Pittman on his podcast, and you got this breaking news that Hudson Clark will be put on scholarship.
I called Hudson Clark last evening, asked him to come see me, and we're out of scholarships right now at this day, but in January we're going to put him on scholarship.
That's awesome.
I think he's earned that, and we're awful happy to be able to do that. But he was happy and excited, and probably thought in his mind it's about time. But we were happy to be able to give him a
This is a legacy at the University of Arkansas. Both his parents went to school. His dad coached, I believe, at Berryville for quite some time. I think he's in the Arkansas High School Coaches Hall of Fame, if I remember that correctly. So this is a guy that's got Arkansas Razorback rolling through his blood. It was cool to see him talk about, hey, I was behind the depth chart, but my teammates and my coaches trusted me. And while they don't have a scholarship right now, they are going to be awarding him one in January.
Yeah, it's just a great story that, inspirational to a lot of kids that, you get overlooked, but you follow your dream. I'm sure his dream was to be a Razorback. He probably could have gotten offers. I don't know his complete story. Maybe that's a better question for Richard if he's with us on Thursday. I know we're having Coach on Thursday. Where else could he have gone and had a scholarship his school paid for, but he followed his dream, and it worked out. He believed in himself because a lot of kids, their parents would have probably pushed him to go, hey, son, why don't you go somewhere else where they're going to pay for your school and mom and dad don't have to dig into their pocket. No. Followed his dream,
His dad works for the Cowboys. So I don't think they're hurting as far as finances are concerned, but I could be wrong.
You said his dad was a high school coach, though, for years?
His grandpa.
His grandfather, okay.
So, but I think I would just guess off the top of my head that I have no idea what his dad actually makes, but just to guess that they're doing okay financially. And he went to Highland Park. So I think
he may be on that Jerry scholarship. Anyone that works for the Cowboys whose kid plays football, went to HP, that wants to play for the Razorback, he may be on that Jerry scholarship.
Funded that. So speaking of Jerry, Jenkins, I didn't have you pull any audio because I didn't want to give you PTSD.
Lord.
But the Dallas Cowboys got spanked, and one of the listeners that I got to give credit to is the pain of seeing Christian Kirk once again in the Dallas Cowboy end zone. Because for those who don't remember, Christian Kirk was a former Texas A&M Aggie. He's the one that took that kick return back to the house back in 2017 and caused you quite a lot of pain. And for you Dallas Cowboy fans, he also caused you some pain last night. So
How about them Cowboys? Yeah!
Not great this morning, man.
Was that necessary at all?
I wasn't going to play that. That was him.
Was that necessary?
I kind of like the Cowboys, but boy, it's hard to like them last night.
You two are smiling way too big when you brought this
up.
No,
hey, if I really wanted to drive the knife into your back, I'd have had Stephen A. Smith.
That's a good,
audio.
Okay, valid point. Oh yeah, that's fine.
How about them Cowboys?
a rough night. I think last night you really saw what Dak Prescott meant to that team as far as leadership and everything about it. But I was at Greenwood last night announcing a game, and I saw it was 14-0. I was like, yeah, it is what it is. And 31-3 late in the fourth quarter, so just a lovely evening.
You know what? The Red Rifle had a pretty good performance coming in for the injured Dak Prescott against the Giants, but did not fare well against the Arizona Cardinals last night. So it will be curious to see what Jerry and Steven do in the offseason as far as Dak's future is concerned. While the Dallas Cowboys had a rough night, the Kansas City Chiefs had anything but that. They get another victory this season, and it really was their defense as they beat the Buffalo Bills 27-16. Here was Mitch Holthus on the call last night, which, by the way, if you don't know, 104.3, 95.3. We are the home of the Kansas City Chiefs, so make sure you can always listen to pre, post, and game coverage of that. Here was Mitch Holthus on the big call last night.
The Bills have the ball back at their own 23. Allen retreats. Here comes Chris Jones, but he floats a pass over the middle. It's going to be intercepted. Dirty Dan Sorensen with the pick. A one-handed grab and the 8th pick of Dirty Dan's career. But just like he closed out the game in Mexico City last year, in a game that feels like this one, he gets a pick on the first Bills turnover of the game, and it comes at 1:11 to go in the contest, and the Chiefs leading by 9.
Now, we heard from David in South Arkansas yesterday. He didn't call in following the Oakland Raiders loss, but I'm going to anticipate after the Buffalo Bills win last night that we will hear from David sometime this morning. That's going to do it for your Quick Kitty headlines this morning. I want to go back to the phone lines in just a sec. Before we do that, I want to tell you about our friends at Burton Pools and Spas.
Yeah, they're expecting an increase in prices just due to 2020 and supply and demand, ordering, supply chain, all these things on hot spring spas for next year. But you can pre-order right now and get that price that you can get right now and not next year's increased price with the pre-order sale that begins this week, October 23rd through November 2nd. 28 models to choose from, starting at $60 a month. These prices are good at their Springdale and their Fort Smith location. So beat the price increase and pay less for your new hot tub with Burton Pools and Spas. Again, 28 different models, $60 a month is the starting price right now at Burton Pools and Spas. So don't miss out on the pre-order sale on a hot spring spa at Burton Pools and Spas. Again, Springdale and in Fort Smith and online at burtonpools.com. Burton Pools and Spas is your source for backyard fun.
Got a great text here from Pilot Mike that says he's up at 9,000 feet. And he's still listening to the program.
Taking us along.
Thank you, Pilot Mike.
Man.
All right, let's welcome in William, who is in Texarkana, in here to the Morning Rush. William, go ahead, man.
Hey, good morning, guys. I just wanted to weigh in on what we can do to maybe improve that efficiency and effectiveness on offense. And I love what you guys were saying about, the read option and those pop passes, and I think getting bursts in space and Traylon Smith is an effective way to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm disappointed in is Frank's hesitancy in the run game. And I think that those read options and those pop passes and those triple option concepts would be a lot more effective if he just looked more natural and decisive when he decides to tuck it and run the football. And I think that defenses are really starting to key in on that, and they're not really honoring his ability in the run game. And I see some hesitancy with him, too, because there's opportunities for him to pick up more yards, 1 or 2 here with a little contact. And I think he's more interested in getting to the turf and securing the football than he is on making a big play. And I compare it to what Bo Nix is doing at Auburn. When he runs the football, he runs with just this, this hard-nosed attitude, and he'll pick up those first downs. And that type of behavior, I think, is infectious and inspiring to the team. And I just think that I hope the coaches can focus on that and get him motivated to be more decisive running the ball. But
yeah.
I'm curious what you guys think about that, and I'll hang up and listen.
Hey, William, want to hear a quick statistic on Bo Nix before we let you go, man?
What? Say that again?
You want to hear a quick stat on Bo Nix? I'm going to ask you a question. I want you to answer this. After 4 games in the Chad Morris offense, Bo Nix is A, 11th of 14th in SEC for passes for touchdown. Is it B, 13th of 14th in the SEC in QB rating? Is it C, 13th of 14th in the SEC in yards per attempt? Or is it D, 14th of 14th in SEC completion percentage? Or is it E, all of the above? What do you think it is, William?
I'm going to go with all of the above.
That is correct. Ding, 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 ding. The Chad Morris effect. William, I appreciate the call this morning. I just wanted to get that in since you brought up Bo Nix.
Well, William, I agree with you on on Felipe Franks and being a more willing runner and a greater threat, particularly on the edge. One of the plays I'm seeing, Ty, around football that I think has got a growing threat, and I think it's a hard play to defend, is when the quarterback shows run and he's running towards the edge and the receivers stay at the line of scrimmage as they're going to be blockers. And then as the corners come up, then the receivers go downfield and the quarterback last second throws it right over the top of them. The receivers are there. It's indefensible almost, because either the quarterback's going to run and get you 5, 6, 7 yards, or he's going to throw it to those wide receivers who are left unguarded. So, I mean, that kind of play can work. You're seeing a lot. It's just an extended. You're just basically doing RPO out on the edge, out past the numbers almost, or out at the numbers, rather than at the end of the line of scrimmage is really what it boils down to. I think how many people were screaming at their TV also on Saturday to throw the ball. Throw the ball! You know, when Franks was holding on to it at times and getting sacked when he was clearly out of the tackle box. I think that's one other area that, you're talking about areas of improvement. That's just either awareness, or he doesn't want to, throw it away. He wants to make sure he can get it out of bounds, and he doesn't want to get hit and it come up short and it gets intercepted. I'm not sure what the thought process is there. Only he could say that, but there are times where he could get rid of the ball and throw it into the stands, and he's not doing that.
Yeah, he's not being as decisive. I will say it's also on the onus of the Arkansas wide receivers to get open.
Yes.
Because there have been several times where Felipe has had time and the dudes just aren't open.
Mm-hmm.
They got to get open,
you're
too.
right.
But to your point, he does need to be more decisive with the football. All right, back to the phone lines. I thought we'd get a call this morning from this guy. Let's welcome in Mr. David in South Arkansas. Big win last night, David.
Oh, gentlemen, what a wonderful day to be a football fan. I love it. The fact that with the Hogs, our expectations have actually gone up to where we're going, gee, we're doing good. What can we improve on? Instead of like, oh, God, let's just burn the whole thing and start all over again. Yes, special teams certainly need to be improved upon. And I don't know, the recruiting question kind of in a way, with Pittman and the Hogs doing so much better. There's some wonderful, wonderful high school football down here in South Arkansas. Is there any upsurge, any increase in interest with high school coaches simply finding out, okay, what have you got down in the area, recruiting, things like that? But wonderful day, wonderful day. Hogs win, Chiefs win, Cowboys lose. Sorry about the Cowboys fan. They're on your staff, dude. And it's just wonderful morning. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it, David. I think Sam Pittman and his staff are doing, and listen, you can hate Chad Morris all you want, but he did do a good job of trying to reach out to most high school coaches. Sam Pittman said a couple months back that he has called every high school football coach in the state. Now, he has not talked to every single one of them, but he did say he either left messages or whatnot. So that's something, a relationship that they continue to want to establish. But one of the good things about Sam Pittman is you're getting guys out of Georgia, Oklahoma, Missouri, Texas. It's not just a Arkansas kids program. You're having to get kids outside of the state, and that's going to be important for the fabric of recruiting. And like you mentioned, David, winning doesn't hurt either.
Yeah. All right, Clay Henry joins us for the last 2 hours of the show. We're brought to you by the all-new Wills RV in Northwest Arkansas. They want you to get out and explore this fall. Wills has the luxury brands that you can do that with, like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wills RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 on 549 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wills RV.
We'll get Clay's thoughts on the game. We'll continue to take your calls and texts, talk a little Hudson Clark, talk a little Grant Morgan. Just this defense has been unbelievable. All that's coming up, hour number 2 of the Morning Rush.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Hi, I'm Bill Bolton of NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins. I started in this business in 1972 at an auction house that specialized in antique and estate jewelry, sterling silver, and coins. In that time, I've seen gold go from $35 an ounce at today's price is $1,683. I want to talk to you about the coins you may have inherited and how important it is to deal with someone who understands coins and this market. In 2011, we had a mother and daughter come into our store and sell us a lot of jewelry they no longer wore for $3,300. The daughter then pulled out an 1850 California $10 gold piece. Jeremy offered her $900 and she accepted his offer. He then advised her to have this coin graded. She did, and she sold it for $36,000. If you don't know what you have, please come see Jeremy in our Bentonville store. Don't sell at an auction or an estate sale and get less money. What's in your safety deposit box could be worth thousands. NWA Gold, Silver, and Coins, Bentonville, Fayetteville.
Build your business with 100% fiber, internet, voice, and cloud services from Ritter Communications. Whether you're a one-man woodworking shop who needs fast, reliable internet complete with TV service, or you're a construction enterprise needing managed voice and networking to connect your multiple sites, our helpful, Arkansas-based team will create a custom solution for you. Visit RitterBusiness.com or give them a call at 888-336-4249 to learn more.
You can be the hero of the office. Just go to hitthatline.com and enter to win the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest. Every week, one lucky listener wins lunch from your local Hardee's restaurant for up to 15 people at your job site or workplace. It's easy to sign up. Just click on the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest button, give us your information, and you're entered just like that. Every Thursday, we announce a winner during halftime. Win free lunch for all your work buddies. The Hardee's Lunch Bunch from Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com.
The biggest selection and the lowest prices on a new Buick are at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 2020 Buick Encore has plenty of cargo space and it's loaded with technology, only $19,995. And the 2020 Buick Envision has all the features and seating for 5. Take $9,000 off, only $28,985. The biggest selection and the lowest prices are at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
For the month of October, Frank Bro Furniture is offering no sales tax. That's right, Frank Bro Furniture is offering no sales tax for the month of October. We also offer in-store no credit check financing, delivery, and service after the sale. At Frank Bro Furniture, we are family owned and we pride ourselves in carrying as many made in the USA products as possible. Remember, in October, no sales tax at Frank Bro Furniture, your made in the USA headquarters, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Frank Bro Furniture, best seats in the house.
In this moment, who has your back? Do you know the name of your insurance agent? Does your insurance agent know your name? Or would you call a 1-800 number that connects you with who? Another state? Another country? Get a local independent insurance agent with Auto Owners Insurance. Someone you can call when the bad stuff happens. In this moment, get an agent who will protect you in that moment. Call Kohler and Green Insurance in Fort Smith, 484-9888, or in Van Buren, 474-9888, and online at KohlerGreen.com.
Wave Rural Connect is bringing state-of-the-art fiber internet, TV, and phone service to your home. Get amazingly fast fiber internet as low as $49.95 per month. TV packages start at $32.95. Fiber phone service starts at $29.95. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC to find out if we're installing in your area. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. I'm shocked it's October already. This year's gone by so fast it's scary. Now I'm afraid I'm not going to hit my goals. So I'm rolling out my most shocking deals yet. It's my Shocktober sales event. Swap your current car for one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center, and priced to save you money. So dump that pumpkin that's haunting your driveway. Trade and save on a nicer, newer car today. Are past credit problems keeping you up at night? Don't be scared. My For the People credit approval process is a treat, and our friendly, non-commissioned sales staff can help you get the nicer, newer car you want at a price and payment that fits your budget. Keeping the car you have? Let us get it ready for fall in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes, buy 3, get 1 free on all tires, or call ahead and set up your free winter-ready inspection. It's the Shocktober sales event, only in Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Expecting to see a chance of showers and thunderstorms today. Our high this afternoon in the middle to upper 70s. Tonight, just a hit or miss shower or thunderstorm north. An overnight low will drop down into the low 60s. Partly to mostly sunny Wednesday, highs in the low 80s. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Follow us on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. You're listening to The Morning Rush live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3 KERX Paris Fort Smith.
I called Hudson Clark last evening, asked him to come see me. We're out of scholarships right now at this day, but in January we're going to put him on scholarship.
That's awesome.
I think he's earned that, and we're awful happy to be able to do that. But he was happy and excited and probably thought in his mind it's about time.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from HitThatLine.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Hour number 2 of the Morning Rush going to be joined by Clay Henry coming up in just a sec. It is a Toyota Tuesday. Be sure to check out the full lineup of 2020 Toyotas, including what I drive to work every day, the Toyota Camry, the Corolla, the Prius, the Avalon, or the spacious crossover RAV4. Do it here in Arkansas at your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. Our Morning Rush poll question is, what does Arkansas need to improve on this season? We've got a bunch of texts. We've gotten a bunch of calls. We've also got a bunch of comments on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Our video stream is, so continue to send those in this morning. We will continue to touch on that. Clay, you and I talked a little bit prior to the game, and one of the questions we have was how this defense was going to fare because we didn't think Bumper Pool was going to play. He didn't. I think our question was answered on Saturday, man.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch, and it seems like it doesn't matter who's placed on the field, that they're in the right spots, they line up right, and they execute the scheme the correct way for Barry Odom. And it has been the theme from the very first game. It's interesting that Sam was asked about, poise afterwards, and he says, our team hadn't unraveled in 4 games, and by golly, they haven't. They just keep on playing, and they keep fighting.
And they continue to do that as far as that's concerned, with just even without having their best linebacker, even with potentially, it depends on who you like between him and Grant Morgan, potentially one of their best defensive linemen in Dorian Gerald, not having their best cover corner in Monteric Brown. Matt Corral, Clay, had thrown 1 interception. They had 1 turnover. His pick against Florida was the only one that he had, and they forced 6 INTs, 1 fumble, and had multiple turnovers on downs. I know that it was a spectacular display, but I don't think anyone could have anticipated what the Arkansas defense was able to do. And I told you, I felt like Barry Odom just broke Matt Corral on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, they were waiting for his passes. They were staring him down, and it's like, hey, we're the intended receiver today. And, they caught 6.
I think we might have lost Clay for a sec. Here's what was puzzling.
On their site.
All right, sorry, Clay. You just went out for a second. Go ahead.
What were you saying?
They caught 6, but they could have caught 8 or 9.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, they had a lot of chances for interceptions, and they were in his head. I mean, they knew where he was going. He was consistent in throwing into coverage. Now, I will say,
I think Clay's having a little internet issue there this morning, but we were talking about this yesterday. And I want to get Clay's opinion on this as we move forward. How much of this is quarterbacks that are remaining on your schedule in the balance of the 6 games, starting with Mond, as they watch this Arkansas defense and they see what they've done to some of these quarterbacks with Costello and Corral. How much of that's in their head going into the game that, hey, if I make the slightest mistake, this is a team that can make me look silly. That, hey, if I try to force it, if I get reckless with the football, and I think we got Clay back, we were talking about, this defense, as opponents watch game film on this Arkansas defense moving forward, that's got to be in the head of Mond and these other quarterbacks moving forward. Garantino, or however you say the guy's name at Tennessee, and Trask at Florida, that, hey, they got to be really careful with the football, or this is an Arkansas defense that can make you have the worst day of your season.
Yeah, they're really good at knowing tendencies, and when they see a formation, that tips them to a play or a route, and they're in position. And I playing a lot of zone, but every once in a while they mix up and disguise something, and it's man, and there's a blitz, and so it's not so predictable on their end that their tendencies are easy to pick up. So it's been an awful lot of fun to watch for me, and I got a great seat. I'm in the press box on the 50-yard line and can see it all unfold, and just kind of, I was talking to Tom Murphy. Tom Murphy sits to my left. Scotty Bordelon sits to my right. And I was telling them both during the first half, I said, this is a joy to watch. It is a perfectly constructed plan and executed in high fashion. I mean, it is really, and I don't think I'm the only one that notices that. I mean, all across the nation, people are saying this is the best tackling team. This is the best fundamentally coached team, and they're playing lights-out defense in a league where the offenses are operating at a high level.
If you break it down to the simplest element of it, you're using 8 to cover 5 at times, sometimes 4, if they use the running back to chip off any of the coverage. But Arkansas doesn't blitz a lot, hardly ever. And Arkansas is using 3 to rush up front, and they're actually getting pressure with 3. So, I mean, that's what's working, is you're able to drop the 8 and not let anybody get open. I mean, it's 8 to cover 5. It's pretty simple.
Yep. They're playing, in effect, 2 nickels. They're playing Fouché on one side as a nickel, and he'll line up on the edge sometimes, and Greg Brooks is the same thing. So you've got 2 safeties or 2 nickels that both have cover ability, and they bring them off the edge now and then. So it's and you can't tell where it's going to be, and it'll be, they'll move that running back from side to side to give them that protection. Well, they just make a call and switch it, so they can get pressure, especially on those 4th down plays. If you're going to pass on 4th down, you better throw it quick, because they're coming off the edge in a hurry. And I saw this same scheme run at Missouri when Odom was defensive coordinator, and their edge guys were really quick, and especially on the goal line where they play some sick 'em down there. So it's not soft all the time, but it's in situations where you may not have the right number of protection guys in, so it will be. And then they'll have a late blitz where the running back stays in, and they realize their spy is not needed, and the quarterback's kind of trapped, and they'll zip him in there. So it's very calculated, very safe, very effective.
And on that note, Clay, I think Arkansas has been helped out by the stubbornness of 2 particular coaches. Mike Leach's just refusal to run the football, and then Lane Kiffin's refusal to take Matt Corral out when you have John Rice Plumlee there. I mean, Corral throws 6 interceptions. I don't know how you can keep him in there in that football game. It didn't make a lot of sense to me, and it also didn't make a lot of sense when Leach looked like at times they had success running the football. His just refusal to do that. But to their disadvantage, it was Arkansas's gain, and we'll end up seeing what happens with Jimbo and his offense next weekend when they take on Texas A&M. But again, this is a conversation we will continue to have. What does Arkansas need to improve on this morning? That's been a topic that we will continue to touch on on the Morning Rush.
Hey, it's a fun sports time of the year. You got the World Series beginning tonight. We're right in the middle of a great NFL schedule. And it's a great college football time of the year. Don't miss any of the action when you got Dish Network from World of Wireless. Get the Hopper system, record all your favorite shows, plus all your favorite games right now from your favorite teams, and get the voice-activated remote thrown in for free, movie channels for free, free installation. There's a ton of extras that are yours at no extra charge right now when you call World of Wireless, your local premier Dish dealer. 877-305-DISH. They can do things for you that the routine Dish dealer can't because they're a premier Dish dealer. That's 877-305-DISH for WOW World of Wireless.
Also got an SEC update to get into, and we'll talk about some awards that Arkansans might win this year.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
Month of October, Frank Pro Furniture is offering no sales tax.
Price increase at Burton Pools and Spas. Hot tub prices are sure to increase in 2021. That's why you should pre-order now from Burton's and pay less during the hot tub pre-order sale. October 23rd through November 2nd. Hot tubs start at only $60 a month and with 28 models to choose from. Pre-order your hot tub and save October 23rd through November 2nd at Burton Pools and Spas.
The month of October, Frank Pro Furniture is offering no sales tax. That's right, Frank Pro Furniture is offering no sales tax for the month of October.
We also offer in-store no-credit check financing, delivery service, and service after the sale. At Franco Furniture, we are family-owned, and we pride ourselves in carrying as many made-in-the-USA products as possible.
Remember, in October, no sales tax at Frank Pro Furniture, your made-in-the-USA headquarters. Frank Pro Furniture, best seats in the house.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
Can help you get there and save you money on America's most trusted brands like Michelin and BF Goodrich. Take advantage of our $29.95 oil change, which includes a 27-point vehicle inspection. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart just off I-540 at exit 14 in Fort Smith today for quality Michelin and BF Goodrich tires and the best-in-class service. Get where you need to be with Michelin, BF Goodrich, and Southern Tire Mart.
Oh, hey. Do you know what goes great with your favorite tunes? Cold beer from Sody's Wine and Spirits. Did you know that at Sody's you can choose from over 600 single bottles of craft beer in their Pick 6 section to make your own six-pack? And for the freshest beer, be sure to pick up a growler. Order online at mysodys.com and pick up in the drive-thru. Or download the new Sody's app and save 10% on your first order. For the full Sody's experience, go to I-540 in Phoenix and Fort Smith.
Have you been looking for your next place to call home and just haven't found the right one? Then it's time to check out the properties at Trinity Multifamily. With a variety of apartments, duplexes, townhomes, and houses, there is surely one to fit your needs. Whether it's in the River Valley, Northwest Arkansas, or Central Arkansas that you are looking at, they have you covered. Give them a call today. Trinity Multifamily, 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
Randall Ford is
excited to announce their state-of-the-art mobile service van, stocked with all the latest tools and technology needed to service your vehicle. Everything from oil changes, warranty repair, battery, software updates, brake jobs, and so much more. All is done with your convenience and safety in mind. We'll come to your office or home to provide professional service the Randall Ford way. Stop by today at Randall Ford, 5500 Rogers Avenue, or check us out online 24/7. RandallFord.com. Ford, the #1 selling brand in America.
River City Bistro is Fort Smith's favorite place for lunch and dinner. Open 7 days a week, both on the open-air patio and air-conditioned dining room for your safety and comfort. River City Bistro is locally owned and open weekdays 11 to 8, Saturdays 10 to 8, and Sundays 10 till 3. Want River City Bistro curbside to go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
Breen RV in Van Buren is having their last sale of the year. Despite COVID-19's best ever, we are still getting in new trailers in weekly, and they are marked down as soon as they hit the lot. Browse Breen RV's selection of Forest River, Dutchman, Thor, and Coachman products and pick out the best fit for you. You can buy with ease knowing that your new purchase comes with free maintenance for life. Once you're ready to hibernate for the winter, bring your camper into us for deluxe winterization specials starting at just $99. Breen RV will work on all makes and models, and don't forget that all their accessories are installed for free. The Breen RV Center in Van Buren, your friends in the RV business.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Crab.
Got to let loose. He does, and it is intercepted. Hudson Clark again inside the 45. They'll force him out of bounds down near the Ole Miss 30. Arkansas is going to win this football game.
Follow us on Twitter at Ty Sports Radio and at Tommy Craft ESPN.
SEC update coming up shortly. Also, again, taking your calls and texts. Our Morning Rush poll question is, what does Arkansas need to improve on? That's something we've been talking about all morning. Also wanting to get into the conversation of the different awards that Arkansas could be in line in for this season, both individually and as a team. That's coming up here on the Morning Rush.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in Northwest Arkansas. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and you want to be home at nights, you want to work with a company that offers great pay, great benefits, a great team environment with growth opportunities, this is the company for you. They welcome minorities and females to apply. This is an inclusive, diverse group of individuals who are looking to employ individuals who may be interested in similar career paths. Apply online today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Somebody said we've got SEC bias. Deal with it. They're the best.
In the SEC, it just means more.
I know one thing. The SEC just got a little tougher.
This is your SEC update on the Morning Rush.
Grant Morgan and Hudson Clark were recognized by the SEC over the weekend as the standout guys. Hudson Clark won the SEC Freshman of the Week, and Grant Morgan was given co-SEC Player of the Week. So cool to see both, not just one, but both of those guys recognized over the weekend.
Yeah, when you have stats like Morgan's had consistently, 19 tackles, and Clay, it's amazing he's doing it with basically one arm. He's got a banged-up elbow, and to do what Grant Morgan has been doing is pretty amazing considering the condition he's in.
Yeah, he dislocated that elbow earlier this season, and he hurt his wrist. It was pretty clear that he's going to tuck that ball under his right arm. He's not tucking it under his left.
Mm-hmm.
He's nominated for the National Player of the Week, the Nagurski Award, which I voted on yesterday. The Football Writers Association. There were six nominees from around the country. And I think he's got a good chance for that today. That'll be announced later today. So it's, as they say, win you some football games in the individual, and all the honors will line up. You will be recognized because of the league you play in and the publicity that league generates. And there's going to be a lot of stuff like that fall in their laps. I think that Bumper Pools got a chance when he comes back for all SEC. He stays healthy. Same thing for Grant Morgan. You've got guys like Jalen Catalon that are playing at a high level at safety. He could be an all-SEC player. And you're going to have Hudson Clark on the freshman All-American team without question. These guys just got to keep making plays.
And you will just go and dive into the awards conversation. If you want to hop in with us, it's 877-377-6963. So I'm just going to throw out a couple of these, and we'll hit on them. These were just ones that came to my mind on Sunday as potentials for Arkansas. Sam Pittman, this is not just me that's saying this. You talk to any ESPN, any national college football writer or analyst, Sam Pittman is going to be at least in contention for Coach of the Year if the season projects out like it has so far. And that's not saying they're going to win the next 6 games, but if they continue to make some noise in this conference, he's going to be in that conversation relative to where the program was. Barry Odom being in contention for the Broyles Award, which is given out to the best assistant coach in college football. And it's been quite a while in this football program where you could look at one of your assistant coaches and say, man, this guy's going to be in line for the Broyles Award. But Barry Odom has done nothing to this point to tell you that he won't be at least in contention for that. The Burlsworth Trophy, which is given to a former walk-on. Clay, you pointed this out to me. It doesn't have to be a current walk-on. It could be it's someone that starts as a walk-on. Now, Grant Morgan is now on scholarship. He's the guy that you think is going to be in line for that award and trophy. I mentioned Hudson Clark as well, but the way Grant Morgan's been playing to this point and the way you continue to think he's going to, as long as he gets back healthy, he's definitely going to be in the thick of things for the Burlsworth Trophy.
Yeah, but you'll see Hudson Clark get a scholarship sooner rather than later. They can't put him on scholarship in the middle of the term. There's not one to give, but there'll be one open probably first of the year. He'll be in line for a scholarship, but he will still he'll be like Grant, a former walk-on that's playing in starting role. Not too many freshmen get a lot of votes from that committee, the Burlsworth committee, but I think Grant Morgan will, and it would be a lot of fun to be at that dinner or lunch in Springdale. Usually the Springdale Rotary Club will have I guess maybe this year it might not be like that. COVID will keep you from doing it, but have 1,000 people in there for Grant Morgan to accept that award. I'm not saying he's going to win it. There'll be a lot of it's amazing how many great candidates they have for that award. Usually it's there's about 20 that you think, wow, and then they get it down to 3, and I don't know how they do that. Yeah. But it's a terrific idea by Marty Burlsworth, and it wouldn't be a surprise if Grant Morgan was the guy this year.
You think about some notable guys that have won in the past: Hunter Renfrow, wide receiver at Clemson; Baker Mayfield, quarterback at Oklahoma; Jared Abbrederis, who was a really good wide receiver at Wisconsin. These are guys that you never would have anticipated at any point of their career being a walk-on, but because of the hard work and effort that they put in, they were able to get a scholarship at their respective schools.
All great stories. And that's the thing about the Burlsworth awards, and just the stories behind all these guys they're inspirational because they all had to overcome a lot to get to where they're at.
So let's go back to this Coach of the Year conversation with Sam Pittman. Now, Tommy and I were discussing before. You look back at the SEC Coaches of the Year, the National Coaches of the Year. It's more the SEC Coaches of the Year that are divvied out to the guy that's not necessarily in the national championship contention, or the guy that is in the SEC championship contention. Houston Nutt won it twice. Sylvester Croom won it once. Most of the time, though, you're either in the SEC championship or you're right near it. And I don't know if Arkansas is going to be able to get to it at this point. But this is not just an Arkansas radio sports topic that Sam Pittman should be in line for at least Coach of the Year discussion. This is something you heard on College Football Live. This is something you heard on SEC This Morning. This is something you heard on SportsCenter. And it's not just people with the Arkansas connections. It are people that are just looking at what's happened to this point saying, based on where this program was, based on where it is now, based on where you think it could be by season end, this guy deserves to at least be in this conversation.
No one's going to exceed expectations, preseason expectations, more than Sam if the current trend continues. So what's the current trend? Well, he's won half of his games up to the bye week. So if the current trend continues, that would be half the games the rest of the way. So that'd be 5 wins for the year. Well, no one was a lot of people were 1 or 2. I mean, the fringe was at 3 wins, right? Not very many people were north of 3 wins for this season. So if the current trend continued and you got to 5 wins for the year and went 5-5, I think he would exceed expectations more than anyone. But at the end of it, Clay, I'm not sure that they're, as much as I think he would be deserving and probably should be right at the top of the conversation, I'm not sure they're going to give a 5-5 coach SEC Coach of the Year when you may have a Nick Saban sitting there undefeated.
Well, part of the conversation is that he had one stripped away from him.
Yep.
And when you say he's won half the games, I say he's won 75%. So 3 out of 4 is my way of thinking, and I know that's that's an Arkansas angle, but I've heard some of the national guys say the same thing.
Well,
so
let's see if they remember that. Let's see if they remember that in December, though.
If he's a candidate, if he's a serious candidate, and he's won, say, 6, he's 6-4, and they say, well, what would you think of him if he was 7-3? Because that's what he really is. And it could really change the narrative at that point, on the voting, and he'll continue to have that kind of discussion among some of these guys that are not going to forget. It will continue to come up if they add more wins, and let's just kind of play it out. Where can they come from? Well, I think they're better than LSU. We've seen LSU fall on their face several times already. I think they're better than Missouri, and so that's 2. So could they pick up another one here or there? I think they can. They might. I don't think they'll be huge underdogs at Texas A&M next week, and. They've played Texas A&M off their feet 3 of the last 4 years and should have won those games. And now, I'm a little worried about Texas A&M's running game. They haven't played anybody that really has a smash mouth game where they load it up and come at you with big linemen. And that, playing that nickel defense that they do with the two safeties up tight, that'll be tested. So that's something to watch for in 2 weeks, and they've got to get Bumper Pool back going for that game for sure. Yeah. But I don't think there's Florida and Alabama, those games, they look like they're really going to be difficult. But I don't see a whole lot of the other games where they can't play with them.
Yeah.
So
can you split the A&M Tennessee games, those 2? And can you win against LSU and Missouri?
I think they'll be favored against Tennessee.
Yeah, I think you can win at least one of those 2. And I'm with you. I think you'll beat LSU and Missouri this year.
Yeah, Tennessee's been a turnover looking for a place to happen. I mean, it's been very predictable that their quarterback goes into coverage. That's not the recipe you want when you play Arkansas, because those guys will catch it. So that is. In fact, I mentioned this in my story at Hogs Sports that when there's a ball in the air, these defensive backs think they're the receiver, and they high point it, and they're playing zone, so they're facing the quarterback instead of playing man and running with their, there's no eyes in the back of the helmets, right? So it's a completely different concept, and they don't try to make the tackle when the ball's in the air. They try to go get it. Now, if the other team catches it, they'll get them on the ground. But they're going for the ball. They're all ball hawks. They have been trained and drilled. Everybody knows my good friend is Lewis Campbell. They look like Lewis Campbell when the ball's in there. He would go high point it, and it was his. And I think he made a bunch of interceptions, and he had a game where he had 3. It was in the Liberty Bowl, but it's just a joy to watch. And there was a couple of them that Hudson Clark called. It's like, well, this looks serious. It's a jump ball with him and defensive back. Well, I mean, they haven't been winning those in past years. Those are always completion. But he went above. Must be a pretty good athlete because he got some springs. He went above that guy. His hands were 6 inches above the receivers, and that that I tell you what's going to be interesting. There's going to be some cornerbacks that haven't played the last 2 or 3 weeks that he's played instead of that are healthy now. You take him off the field, Tommy? Ty? Take that dude off the field? And play Monteric Brown or, some of these other guys.
I mean,
they had been full string.
You take him off the field for Monteric, but is there another person you take him off the field for?
I don't know if I take him off for Monteric. I think I sub Monteric in. But dadgum, I mean, he's done everything right. He makes tackles.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about this defense that is just a joy to watch. Tell me when they've been penalized. They just don't get a penalty.
And
they don't have
they tackle.
anything silly.
Three
they
for
tackle.
35.
They do not hurt themselves. They don't miss tackles. You've got to earn it all the way down the field. They don't jump off sides. They don't have pass interference penalties. It's they play the ball. They're not playing. They're not playing the man so much. So it's not pass interference, and they don't turn people loose. They don't give up the big play. You go down the list of the things that you have to do to play good defense, and they do them all.
Yeah. Other than the first half at Auburn in a tropical storm, they fundamentally played really well. And I didn't think, and I think you agree.
They didn't tackle that game.
They did not tackle in the preceding in the first half. I thought the second half
they
was
got
much
that
better.
fixed.
But
yeah,
say what you want. It was a tropical storm rolling through in that first half. So, but they did not play well. Other than that half, they've played on point. Every quarter this season.
And they've smacked some guys around too, haven't
they? Yeah, they sure have.
Yeah, and they tackle right. Their heads are up. They don't bring the crown. They don't have any reviews for targeting.
Oh, that's exactly right.
And it's the technical aspect of the way they play, and it's amazing. They didn't have spring practice. They didn't have but 2 scrimmages.
All on Zoom. They've done all this with Zoom. Well, in August. So.
I will say this: some of those guys, they play like they got Zoom in them. I mean, they get there. They swarm to the football. It's Zoom, Zoom, Zoom.
We got a couple calls that we are going to get to momentarily. It is a Toyota Tuesday. Be sure to check out the full lineup of 2020 Toyotas, including the Camry, the Corolla, the Prius, the Avalon, or the spacious crossover RAV4. Do it here in Arkansas at your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. Want to welcome in Jim in Russellville to the conversation. Jim, you are on the Morning Rush, man.
Hey, good morning, guys. What I want to talk about this morning is how refreshing it is to hear a coach just be real, man, and also you hear across the nation this year guys saying it's hard to play defense against air. You haven't heard anything about like that around our guys. They're playing fast, they're tackling well. They've been coached. They've been ready to play in every single ball game. I mean, it's just really fun to hear Coach Sam get up there and not make any excuses. I mean, even Nick Saban, whenever Ole Miss rolled up those 48 points, it's hard to play defense against air. But you don't hear any excuses from these guys. You hear them say we have to go back to work and get better. And it's just really nice to hear a guy, and he does it with class too. I mean, he could have easily stuck 40 points up on Ole Miss the other night, and he just nailed the ball right there at the end of the game. So I'm really impressed overall with the way he's not only coaching, but the way he's going about doing it and doing it in respect for the other team and respect for all his players. I would love to play for this guy, and he's awesome. And I'm really, really proud to be a Razorback fan, and he's doing a great job. Hope you guys have a blessed day. Thank you, guys.
Because I want him to score, go for 2, and then kick it onside. That's what I want him to do the other night, and then try to score again. So,
because to Tommy's point, if Lane Kiffin was in that situation, that ball
exactly
would be going in the end zone, and you know that Lane Kiffin is going to be very, very attentive for that game in Oxford next year, and he's going to try and score as many points as possible based on how his team was embarrassed on Saturday. So that just goes to show you just kind of the differences of dynamic between Sam and Lane. But Clay, to his point, I just think about the wanting to play aspect, and you can't. We've mentioned it probably 1,000 times on this program, but it is we got to keep mentioning it because you keep seeing it on the field. This team is just not as talented as far as what you think they were going to be in terms of that, but a lot of it is just want to. And a lot of it is preparation. It's another thing that Barry Odom has done for this football program is whether it's Hudson Clark, whether it's Grant Morgan, whether it's Jashad Stewart, you keep hearing these defensive guys like, we know what's coming. Like, when you know what's coming, it makes it a lot easier. And it was a case-in-point example on Saturday when they picked off Corral 6 times, and they could have had 7 or 8 if Grant had 2 arms instead of 1. They knew what was coming on Saturday.
Yeah, it was. It's a lot of fun, and people all over the state of Arkansas are Ty, you asked me, how long it would take for, the state to get back into football. It took 4 games. I mean, it's people got their chest stuck out. They're happy. I had my field glasses, and I was like the guy with the camera that goes around looking for people without masks in the stands, during the game. But anyway, I got my field glasses. They're celebrating the end zone, and I just scanned the stands. And everywhere I look, the person next to the next person, they were hugging. And, I mean, jumping up and down was part of it, but it was you turned to the person next to them and you hugged them. And it was just refreshing. They were excited. My daughter Sarah watched the game with some friends that have young children. They have a 9-year-old. And at the end of the game, the 9-year-old said, I watched every second of that. She said, I didn't know Razorback football could be that fun. Well, it hadn't been in his lifetime. Yeah. So it's like, man, I'm into all this. This is pretty good stuff. Yeah. And that's what's going on. And it didn't take long. And what you've seen, and it's the real deal. Yeah. And it's not where it's going to be. They can't block the run yet. They're doing it with mirrors a little bit on offense. I thought they blocked on the perimeter better, but they're still having a hard time inside and on the edge. Now I think Stromberg and Clary look like they are coming into their own, but the rest of them, they've been overmatched some because they're playing against bigger guys. But I think that, and they're not altogether healthy on offense. There's no doubt that Burks is 80%, just as Sam said. When he's running, he's straining to really stretch out that one leg. And then you look at Trey Knox. He looks like he's limping around a little bit. Rakeem Boyd's not full speed. Those are their playmakers on offense. Yeah. Traylon Smith has been a little bit of a boost. And I think, if the truth be told, Felipe Franks is still worried about his ankle a little bit. I thought he was going to the sideline when he probably had a chance to get a first down, and he turned to make sure that guy didn't land on his ankle. Stiff-armed him from behind. That was to keep that guy from diving on his ankle, and I get that. If you had that injury, you probably would do that as well, Ty.
I'm still thinking about it.
Yeah,
and we all know that an all SEC caliber offensive line is coming, and that just takes time. That takes recruiting and weight room, but that's the area I think that's got the most headroom for improvement, the highest ceiling, and that's coming, Clay.
I think Franks has been on target. When he's had open guys, man, he's drilled them. I mean, it's been impressive, and his running is not where you want it, but boy, he can flat out throw it.
All right, more calls coming up. Time to tell you about Gaston's White River Resort, 870-431-5202. Clay, we're starting to see some low water on the White River as the lakes are getting back to normal over in north central Arkansas. And give us a little fishing report. I know you've got the magazine done for the week and the bye week. You're going to be out on the White River, I know, a lot this next few days.
Yeah, I heard a good report yesterday, or I guess last night, on some nice browns being caught on the White, and they're there. And all the high water that we had for 6 months, they were protected and got a lot of food. When that water is rolling like that, there's a lot of food in the river. So, yeah, this is a good time to go fishing, and the weather is just going to be fantastic the next month.
Oh, it's great. So book one of the great guides at Gaston's, and you can be on one of those big browns. One phone call is all you need to make, 870-431-5202. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time.
every time.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
At Toyota, today's the day to score a great deal. That means today's the day to take a ride in your thrilling new Camry. Today's the day to scale new heights in your powerful new RAV4 Hybrid. Or maybe today's the day to turn heads in your stylish new Corolla. Today's the perfect day to tackle a new outdoor project in your tough new Tundra. Today might even be the day to go as far as the road will take you with the epic range of your new Highlander Hybrid. Today's the day to save on all your favorites like the Toyota Camry, Corolla, RAV4, Highlander, Tundra, and more. But hurry, this offer ends soon. Head into your Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places.
Qualified buyers can get 0% APR financing for 60 months or a total bonus of $2,500 on a new 2021 Tundra Special Edition. Participating dealers only. Visit buyatoyota.com for details. Offers available in select states and end 11/2/20.
You can be the hero of the office. Just go to hitthatline.com and enter to win the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest. Every week, one lucky listener wins lunch from your local Hardee's restaurant for up to 15 people at your job site or workplace. It's easy to sign up. Just click on the Hardee's Lunch Bunch contest button. Give us your information, and you're entered just like that. Every Thursday, we announce a winner during halftime. Win free lunch for all your work buddies. The Hardee's Lunch Bunch from Hardee's, ESPN Arkansas, and hitthatline.com.
Hi, I'm Greg Magnus, and I'm running for Sebastian County Circuit Judge.
We've been all around Sebastian County asking voters who they're supporting for Circuit Judge, and this is what we're hearing.
Greg Magnus.
Oh, Greg Magnus, of course.
Greg Magnus has practiced law in Fort Smith for 25 years and has the integrity and knowledge of the law that will make him an outstanding judge.
Greg possesses a great deal of knowledge, experience, character, and integrity.
Your vote is important. My name is Greg Magnus, and I'm asking for your vote on November 3rd.
Ad paid for by the committee to elect Greg Magnus.
Always get more at Orr.
We always put the customer first at Orr Chevrolet in Fort Smith. Since 1924, the Orr family of dealerships has grown based on one simple principle. Give the customer more money for their trades and give them a lower price on their new vehicle. It's a simple concept, really, but one that very few dealers honor anymore. Hey, we know you paid a lot of money for your vehicle, and Orr Chevrolet wants to pay you the maximum amount for it today. Then we'll give you an awesome price on a new Chevrolet. But we're not done giving you more. Included with any new vehicle sold. Or Chevy will also give you a lifetime powertrain warranty, 2 years of free maintenance, and free car washes for life. So come get a lower price and more money for your trade today at Orr Chevrolet on Auto Park Drive in Fort Smith and 24/7 at OrChevyFS.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You always get more at Orr.
Your locally owned TGI Fridays in Fort Smith is now open for dine-in, curbside to-go, and delivery for both lunch and dinner, 7 days a week. TGI Fridays is taking your safety seriously, following every guideline. Enjoy Fridays favorites like appetizers, burgers, sandwiches, salads, all the great Fridays, signature entrees, kids' meals, and great desserts. TGI Fridays, now open for dine-in, curbside to-go, and delivery. Call 479-484-0906. That's 484-0906. Or order online at Fridays.com. Your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 in Rogers and Fort Smith.
When you've escaped the screens and the sun bathes everything in a golden glow, and your friend hands you a cold organic beer that tastes as perfect as nature itself, that's pure gold. Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, the first national USDA certified organic beer. Organic by nature. Enjoy responsibly. 2020 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. I'm shocked it's October already. This year's gone by so fast it's scary. Now I'm afraid I'm not going to hit my goals. So I'm rolling out my most shocking deals yet. It's my Shocktober sales event. Swap your current car for one of our Wrath Road Ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center, and priced to save you money. So dump that pumpkin that's haunting your driveway. Trade and save on a nicer, newer car today. Are past credit problems keeping you up at night? Don't be scared. My For the People credit approval process is a treat, and our friendly, non-commissioned sales staff can help you get the nicer, newer car you want at a price and payment that fits your budget. Keeping the car you have? Let us get it ready for fall in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes, buy 3, get 1 free on all tires, or call ahead and set up your free winter-ready inspection. It's the Shocktober sales event, only in Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Wrath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at wrathauto.com.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Frank, he's going to throw into the back of the end zone. Burks is there. He caught it. Did he get a foot down? No signal yet. Touchdown, Arkansas!
All your favorite podcasts in one place. The Hit That Line Podcast Network. Just search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts.
Part of the reason your defense was so successful on Saturday is because of one former walk-on and one walk-on that's no longer going to be a walk-on as of January. Grant Morgan, Hudson Clark, 2 guys that have Arkansas ties. Grant's older brother, Drew, obviously was a wide receiver here at the University of Arkansas. And then Hudson, both his parents went to the U of A. His dad was a legendary coach at Berryville High School for quite some time in the Arkansas State Coaches Hall of Fame. So really cool to see the Arkansas connection there on Saturday. And it was spectacular to watch, especially on defense. We'll talk about those 2 individuals coming up here on the Morning Rush, as well as take your calls and texts. Before we do that, we just had a little friend drop by.
Our buddy Officer Breeden has stopped by the studio. He's a part of the team over at Spear Group Security, who is a great sponsor here on the Morning Rush. You've been down in Houston, Louisiana, and Houston for like 50 days, and that's one of the many things that Spear Group does is protect assets during the midst of chaos and natural disasters. You need a great security company that's not just there to guard the door during your clearance sale, but does a lot of things that the average security firm doesn't. Spear Group's the one to call, 501-310-5425. Good to see you again. You've been out of town a while.
We've been gone a while working the hurricanes, and remember, we're about prevention. We want to prevent things from happening.
Yeah, 501-310-5425, or read more about Officer Breeden and his co-workers online at speargroupsecurity.com. Call them before you know what hits the fan. It's peace during chaos, right?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, it's good to see you again. Thanks for stopping by this morning.
Good to see you guys.
All right.
Great to be home for a day.
Yeah, exactly.
Glad
you carved out a minute or 2 for us.
Yeah, absolutely. So Hudson Clark and Grant Morgan, 2 guys that really stood out in this performance on Saturday night. And you, obviously, I mentioned those connections between the 2 as Arkansas legacies of sort. You think about the performance that Hudson put on as a former walk-on. Still a walk-on. He has 3 interceptions that game. Clay, you brought up that your buddy also had 3 interceptions in the Liberty. Lewis had 3 interceptions in the Liberty Bowl. Is that what you said?
Yep, that was in 1971. Yep, it was. I've actually gone back and watched that video, and he was a treat, but did a lot of things like Hudson, is high point that football. You go up there and catch it at the highest point, and we haven't seen that of late. And it's that's what they coach, but I think it comes down to playing zone defense where you're facing the quarterback and not running away from the quarterback in man where you can't see it, and those defensive backs wouldn't turn their heads and get pass interference and completions and touchdowns and big plays. Mm-hmm. And they don't get beat deep. There was a play late in the game where I think the Corral out threw his guy with that wind behind him. He zipped it about 10 yards too far. But that was about the only time I've seen somebody really get behind the Arkansas defense in 4 games.
I would encourage everyone listening to go look at Hudson and Grant's recruiting profiles, 24/7 Sports Rivals, where there's not a lot on there. And yet these are two guys that in Saturday's performance were the biggest playmakers in that football game. And that goes to what we've been speaking about this morning, that it's sometimes more about heart than it is talent. And when you're well coached like Barry Odom has done so far with this defense, that definitely helps as well. And speaking of passion, it comes down to a lot of what Arkansas has been to this point. I know one guy is very passionate about this team's performance. Let's welcome in Mr. Eddie in Clarksville. Eddie, you're on the Morning Rush, man.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, as always, to one of the greatest fan bases in the country, the Hog Nation. Now, let me say this. You know, over the years, I've been aboard the Hog train. I coined that phrase on the Bo Manley show since, I said the other day, since 1971. And over those years, great players have come through our program. Take great pride in this program. Some to go on to win Super Bowls. And what a story, though, this year by Coach Pittman and Coach Odom. What a story in all the sports. And I've said, a quote, and how true it is, by Tupac Shakur. The tenacity of the rose, the grunt of the concrete. And that's what's taking place in the foundation of our program. Everybody across the country can enjoy hard work and tenacity. And I think what's so wonderful about this team, you know, they're just a bunch of blue-collar workers. You know, they're not five-stars, but they go out with heart, and they face this fan program, and they preach to this fan base. And look what's taking place. As I said yesterday, Coach Pittman started without a doubt. I said that I'm catching the first bowl Coach of the Year. And I think a lot of other media across the country would agree with me. Coach Odom, without a doubt. I found out the Venables at Texas is making $2.2 million. Well, before this year's over, sir, you're making $2.5. How about that? Because, you know what is I said the other day, to keep the steam rolling on the Hog train, what is the price of winning? Well, it's coaching, and we got coaching now. But I want to get to this before I hang up. I know you got other callers. On the day, October 31st, it's just less than 2 weeks. It's Halloween night. We're pulling the Hawk train and the College Station, and we're not going down there to make a good show. I just want to address Mr. Kendall Brown, sir. You're making a $1 billion a year. Sir, dig into your tree and dig into your tricks because you don't need it Halloween night. It's 12 points a game. It's not getting it done. All right. Get your act together. And we can win this game. We got 6 games left. And I'm starting to feel it. Fans, other fans, we got people jumping aboard the whole train. It's starting to get steam. We got 6 left. And to me, we can win all 6 of these games or be in the league if we get this offense rolling. Get the ball to your playmakers. Get the feel of the game. Do not give the ball to Felipe. He's still a running back. You don't get the quarterback killed. I think that's just breaking it down. You got to get the feel for the game. Get the ball again to your playmakers. Give them a good dose of Traylon Smith. And I want to ask you up here, who are our tight ends? You got one of the best tight ends in the country. Set Hudson Henry. Get Blake Kearney in there. Get your tight ends involved. I mean, we got to win this game. It's good. We just derailed the lane train. We just derailed Mike Leach and the West Coast offense. And we can derail Coach Jimbo Fisher and Mound. If this offense comes to play, you're going to have to help your defense in this game.
Yep. Nope, Eddie, you're exactly right. Grant Morgan was quoted after the game by saying that we're not just going into these games trying to get respect anymore. We're trying to win. This is a guy that's playing with one arm, that's doing everything he can humanly possible. Didn't even hit prior to that. And it shows you the will, not only him, but everyone on this football team of what they're trying to do. It's been 3,307 days since you've beaten the Texas A&M Aggies, and you'll get a chance on Halloween night to break that streak.
Too long. And you got to even this series up a little more in recent times if you want to make this the rivalry I think we'd all like to see it become. if Arkansas is going to have a true rivalry in this division.
Exactly right. Hour 3 number coming up, and to that point, Tommy, despite all the pain and misery you suffered the last year, you still lead the series. You still lead the series despite just absolutely sucking.
Thanks for the 70s
these last
and 80s.
couple of years. Yeah, Southwest Conference says. More of the Morning Rush coming up.
Introducing Arkansas Scholarship Lottery's $10 million cash extravaganza scratch-off. Come on, we need a bigger fanfare than that when you can win up to 20 times with 3 top prizes of $200,000. Still not big enough. Try again. That should do it. Win bigger with the $10 million cash extravaganza scratch-off and more than $10 million in prizes. Call 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
If you have experience transporting frozen and refrigerated goods and want to be part of a trucking family with insurance and be home every week, you need to contact Brent Higgins Trucking. Since 1997, Brent Higgins Trucking in Mulberry has been proudly delivering to and from various areas of the United States, including but not limited to Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, and Mississippi. Brent Higgins Trucking, where you're a name, not a number. Contact them at 479-997-2366 or at BrentHigginsTrucking.com.
The all-new Wheels RV in Northwest Arkansas wants you to get out and explore this fall. Wheels has the luxury brands you can depend on to keep you camping. Brands like Grand Design, Alliance, KZ, and the all-new solar-powered Vibe. And with a lifetime warranty on every new unit and a mobile service shuttle, you can relax and know that your RV will stay like new year after year. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
At any of the Clay Maxey companies, it's just an easy, customer-centered experience. We wanted to make it a one-stop shop, so we added Kawasaki and Can-Am and Hustler and Worldline. It's really been a nice add for us. We provide full service. We're doing pickup and delivery. We were able to add the Vexus line, which is a premier bass boat line. We want to make it easy. We want you to visit us at any of the Clay Maxey companies. Clay Maxey Ford and Harrison, Berryville, Motorsports, Marine, or Clay Maxey NWA.
The biggest selection and the lowest prices on a new Buick are at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 2020 Buick Encore has plenty of cargo space and it's loaded with technology, only $19,995. And the 2020 Buick Envision has all the features and seating for 5. Take $9,000 off, only $28,985. The biggest selection and the lowest prices are at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Doe's Eat Place is now open to serve you the award-winning steaks you've been missing, along with your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Doe's Eat Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Doe's Eat Place welcomes their loyal diners back and new diners to experience the best steaks, atmosphere, and service in the River Valley. The patio is also open for your dining pleasure. Just call for reservations. Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Come on into Buffalo Wild Wings and try our new fan favorites featuring our new cauliflower wings paired with our mouth-watering Zing Zang sauce. While you're here, reward yourself with Buffalo Wild Wings' new daily trivia while enjoying our fan favorite smoked brisket burger or southern chicken sandwich. Let your taste buds win and come on in to Buffalo Wild Wings, the best and only place to watch college football and the NFL. Celebrate your fantasy team winning on our wall-to-wall TVs. Locations in Little Rock, Fort Smith, Sherwood, Jonesboro, and Conway. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar!
Green RV in Van Buren is having their last sale of the year. Despite COVID-19's best effort, we are still getting in new trailers in weekly, and they are marked down as soon as they hit the lot. Browse Green RV's selection of Forest River, Dutchman, Thor, and Coachman products and pick out the best fit for you. You can buy with ease knowing that your new purchase comes with free maintenance for life. Once you're ready to hibernate for the winter, bring your camper into us for deluxe winterization specials, starting at just $99. Green RV will work on all makes and models, and don't forget that all their accessories are installed for free. The Breeden RV Center in Van Buren, your friends in the RV business.
Was your roof damaged by recent storms? Don't fall victim to out-of-town contractors and fly-by-night repairmen. Trust the local roofing professionals at Able Roofing. Call their local number, 474-0006, for a free roof inspection. Never trust something as important as the roofing system on your home to a storm chaser. Able Roofing, 474-0006, will work with your insurance company. Call now for your free roof inspection, 474-0006. Able Roofing, the hometown roofers.
Carol Morgan came to Arvest Bank needing to get a loan. Let's hear what happens.
So Carol, good news. You're approved for this loan and at this interest rate.
Yay, that's great.
You also mentioned you have some credit card debt. Would you be interested in rolling that into this loan so you're paying off that credit card at the same rate?
Really?
Yep, then it's all just one payment instead of two.
Wow, that's
Helpful?
very helpful.
Personal loans made easy. Arvest Bank, ready to help.
Whole Hog Cafe in Fort Smith wants you to know dine-in service is now open, recognizing all state and CDC guidelines. Takeout and delivery service remains available as well. Whole Hog Cafe Fort Smith is also, until further notice, open Tuesday through Saturday from 11 a.m. till 6 p.m. The Whole Hog Cafe on Borough Road also has a drive-thru for your convenience. Call Whole Hog Cafe on Phoenix Avenue or Borough Road, or order online at wholehogfortsmith.com for your award-winning Memphis-style barbecue and sides.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
Mainly cloudy sky with a slight chance of seeing an overnight shower or two. We drop down to near 50 north, upper 50 south. Partly to mostly cloudy, a stray shower as we head through Tuesday morning across the north. Otherwise, we're going to warm things up in the mid to upper 70s, sunny near 80 Wednesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Email your fantasy football questions at fantasyfootball@hitthatline.com to get it answered on Fantasy Football Sunday every Sunday from 10 to 11 a.m. KERX, Paris Fort Smith.
Hey, we can't make you a morning person, but we can make your mornings.
ESPN 95.3. This hour of the Morning Rush is brought to you by Bud Light, brewed with the best barley, rice, water, and hops to be America's favorite light beer. Bud Light, please drink responsibly.
I called Hudson Clark last evening to ask him to come see me. We're out of scholarships right now at this day, but in January we're going to put him on scholarship.
That's awesome.
I think he's earned that, and we're awful happy to be able to do that. But he was happy and excited and probably thought in his mind it's about time.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden. You're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
You're causing a major disturbance on my time.
If I'm here and you're here, doesn't that make it our time?
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station. Streaming live from
HitThatLine.com.
There's a lot of lions, tigers, and bears, but there ain't but one razorback. Number one.
This is The Morning Rush.
Borderline erotic.
With Ty Richardson.
Sunshine. That's cool. I can dig it.
And Tommy Kraft.
Do I look happy?
What's wrong?
Lloyd!
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Good start to the morning here on a Tuesday edition of the Morning Rush. 877-377-6963 is the number that you can get in on the conversation as we continue to talk about what does Arkansas need to improve on. You've had a little couple days to marinate on it. Yes, you got the win. It's all positives on Monday. It's all positive Saturday night. It's all positives on Sunday. But if you're going to get that signature win in College Station, Texas against Jimbo Fisher and the high-flying Texas A&M Aggies, what do they need to improve on? That's the topic coming up here on the Morning Rush. Make sure you check out the full lineup of 2020 Toyotas, including the Camry, the Corolla, the Prius, the Avalon, or the spacious crossover RAV4, and do it at your local Toyota dealer here in Arkansas. Toyota, let's go places. Clay, Tommy, I'll let you two start, and then I'll get into mine. What is something that has stood out on offense, special teams, not much on defense, that Arkansas needs to improve on in order to have a chance against Texas A&M?
Yeah, I'd say starting with the running game. It has been sputtering, to say the least. You know, there haven't been very many chunk plays, no long gainers in the run game, and you know it would really take a lot of pressure off of the quarterback if you could have a consistent running game where play action would be something that really holds the linebackers, and so far that hasn't been the case. They've figured out ways to score some points, but it hasn't been what you would hope for, and I think Sam's noted that, and that's just, you know, the underdevelopment of the offensive line. You know, you have to have some bigger guys. They are bigger, but they're still against the elite teams. You know, they're 305-pounders going against 330-pounders, and it ought to be flipped around where the bigger guys is on offense. The defensive guys are more mobile, and so they're not generally quite as big as the offensive linemen. But that's not been the case so far in SEC games for Arkansas this year. They're playing hard. They're not making busts. Their mental errors have gone way down from previous seasons. They're not shooting themselves in the foot. There's an occasional, play where they jump, but it's they're just not as big and strong as the defensive linemen right now.
I would still say special teams. Now, they were fairly clean. They had a kickoff out of bounds. Was it 1 or 2 against Ole Miss? I know there's 1, but they didn't have the major gaffes they'd had the week before at Auburn with the block punt. But do you really trust special teams at this point? They've been inconsistent. They've had some decent games, but they've had some games where they've gotten in the way of winning. So I want to see consistency in special teams. I want to see them eliminate kickoffs out of bounds. We need to see punt protection continue to get better. I'm a little more trusting of punt return at this point, or punt coverage, rather. I think they've gotten that pretty well shored up at this point, but they've got to get some of these little things lined out. And Clay, we've seen games where they've done very well, then we've seen games where it seems like special teams has just been a problem in every unit. So I would say just consistency in 2 to 3 ball games, and starting with Ole Miss, or Texas A&M rather, coming off the Ole Miss game, of just being consistent. I thought Ole Miss was fine, but I want to see a couple of games strung together with special teams.
Yeah, they made a few personnel changes, and it seems like they're tweaking special teams as they go along. Jack Lindsey, who was the holder the last 2 years, got that job back. A reserve quarterback that has done it before, and I believe it was the first extra point that was really high, and he went up there and got it, got the ball down, and field goal, or the kick was good. And that was a case where, okay, that's what the guy's supposed to do, but it wasn't an easy snap, and he handled it. You saw Reed Bauer step in as the punter, and I thought was fairly good. I don't think he had any just horrible shanks. It was the kickoffs that went out of bounds, not the punts this week, which was different. So maybe they found their punter. They tried Sam Loy and George Carrington in the first 3 games, and Reed is he's a guy that was with the team the previous year, and I thought he did fine. Yeah. So A.J. Reed continues to look like he's an accurate kicker as far as placements, field goals, extra points. So that's a positive. Each week they need to just keep polishing and smoothing off the rough edges. Yeah. They
didn't have a illegal formation on a punt this week.
That was improved.
That was improved. To me, just put your 3 protectors back there and put everybody else on the line, and that's pretty simple.
Late in the game when you're in a 1-score situation and the other team lines up in 4th down, just leave your defense out there. I think everybody agreed that was that would have solved the fake punt deal. I think most fans were probably screaming at their TV set, "Put them in safe, coach. Put them in safe. Leave the defense out there." And of course, they gave up the 47-yard run to the up back.
Everybody saw that one coming, that they were going to run the fake.
That's got to be. You got to be in punt safe in that situation. Clay, I'll go off yours. You talked about explosive run plays. I just looked this up. Guess where Arkansas is right now in terms of 20-plus yard rushes this year? Where they are in the country? There's 77 teams, I think, overall 76. Where are they at right now? Just take a guess.
In 20-yard rushes for the offense?
How many teams are playing football right now?
I think it's 76, 77.
That's how many are playing. They're probably right there in that group.
Yeah, it's going to be towards the bottom.
Tied for last.
Yeah, I'll say it can't be very good.
Tied for last.
I don't remember very many.
20-plus yard rushes this season for the Arkansas offense. They are tied.
Boyd's long run is like 5.
That's not something that you want to be associated with if you're the Arkansas offense and Kendall Briles. So, Clay, your point is exactly valid as backed up by the statistics. I'll give you another one, y'all. Their first drive efficiency has been atrocious. Now, if not for the Ole Miss safety just dropping an interception, that could have been disastrous. Now, in the second drive, they were bailed out by running into the kicker penalty. But I would think a lot of times that Kendall Briles has something scripted and you have success on these first drives. But to this point this season, through 4 games, your first drive on offense has been horrendous. That has to clean up. You have to put something solid together in College Station, first drive, whether you get it first possession or whether the Texas A&M offense gets it first and you defer and you get the ball next, you have to put something together because while the defenses come through time and time again, you're putting a lot of pressure on them early on, and that oftentimes flips the field position. I'm not even asking for a score first possession. I'm just asking for something more than a 3 and out. And it seems like continuously over and over again, Clay, this team is in a 3 and out situation, especially the first possession of the game.
Yeah, that's easy to say that, and I get it. And when they consistently get to the second level and block the linebackers, that's when you'll have those scripted plays all work. You can script them all you want. You and I can. I'm not sure you and I really know how to, execute and draw up a blocking scheme. But it's if you don't get those linebackers, it's going to be a 1 and 2 yard gain. So that, when they can block more effectively, Kendall Browse will look like a great play caller.
What else do you think should be improved in order to beat the Texas A&M Aggies? You've gotten a big-time win at home against Ole Miss. You got a big-time win on the road against Mississippi State. But this could be a signature win for Sam Pittman and his staff. What needs to happen in order for that to happen? 877-377-6963. This is from David in Morrison, Tennessee. He wants to see a little bit more out of Trey Knox. Now, Clay, you mentioned that you thought Trey was limping a little bit. You haven't seen him get open. You heard Sam Pittman talk about that a couple weeks ago. Trey just needs to get open. This is a guy, especially on offense, for a guy that was highly recruited, that you expected to have more of a role that he's had this season, and it just hadn't been the case. I think in order for them to have a better game against Texas A&M offensively, Clay, he's got to step up.
Well, he has to step up, but what I see happening is that his snaps have gone away. Mm-hmm. It's hard to step up when you're not on the field. So he had a chance through 3 weeks, and this game, with Traylon Burks being back, you've got Burks, you've got Woods, you've got Warren, and there's one more in there that was playing, Tyson Morris. Those guys have been effective. And I think that's the group that you're going to see get the bulk of the time. And the other thing that I thought really was an improvement is the wide receivers blocked on the perimeter, and they were able to throw those wide receiver screens, little hitch, little flare passes. When they had Ole Miss was playing cloud coverage and have one corner up, well, you can back a guy off, throw it to him. The other guy blocks the first guy, and the second guy, Traylon Burks, can make miss 5 yards downfield. They got some plays there. So they've got their wide receiver core picked out, and Knox isn't in it right now. He can get back in it, but I think that when you drop one in the end zone, I think he had probably 2 drops at Auburn. One was a 2-point pass that he's got to catch, 10 out of 10 times, and then there was a slant that looked like it went through both his hands. You get your chances, and if you don't take advantage of them, you move on.
Hey, tomorrow is National Nacho Day. So I know that that probably perks your ears up a little bit out there, and I know it does Ty's. He was really paying attention when I said that. All day at Joe's Grill and Cantina tomorrow, October 21st. Half-price nachos for all of them on the menu. All your favorites, brisket nachos, ballpark nachos, fajita nachos, all half price for National Nacho Day tomorrow. That's all day long. So celebrate National Nacho Day tomorrow at Joe's Grill and Cantina. Plus, the World Series begins tonight. You can stop in for favorites and great half-price apps and taps that'll be on special during all World Series games at Joe's Grill and Cantina. National Nacho Day at Joe's Grill and Cantina tomorrow, as they'll have half-price nachos tomorrow. Back to your point on the first drive. 3 plays 6 yards against Georgia. 3 plays 9 yards against Mississippi State. First drive, 3 plays 6 yards against Auburn. 3 plays 7 yards against
They're
Ole Miss.
improving.
So their best was in the second game, 9 yards. 6-9, 6-7 in the first drives. All 3 play drives.
I think I know the solution for that. Just before you go out, serve them a plate of nachos. They'll be pumped.
They'll be excited. So that's definitely an area that you want to see some improvement as far as the Arkansas offense is concerned. And I'll ask this next question for both of you, and then as well as our listeners, you'll want to hop in as well. Fourth quarter, you've been up against Mississippi State, you've been up against Ole Miss, 2 Mississippi schools. And for
and,
what
and 28-27, you're up against Auburn. Yeah.
For whatever reason, I get the up-tempo style and stuff, but you're still snapping the ball with 30 seconds on the play clock. And if I remember correctly, they're up. It wasn't 2 touchdowns because of the point differential, was either 13 or 12 points, but they were up a good bit, and you're still snapping the ball with 30 seconds on the play clock, which doesn't make a lot. And I'm not asking you to wait till 2 or 1, but is that an area of concern that still in the fourth quarter you're leaving a lot of time up there? Now, eventually, I think with like 4 or 5 minutes left, they finally started to slow it down a little bit. But to me, in the fourth quarter, Clay, you take more time off the play clock that they've been doing it. Am I correct in making that assumption and assertion?
I think there's situations where you do it, and then there's situations if you like the look and you're afraid that they're going to stem or slide their defense, you go ahead and take the play if you think you've got it. So yeah, it's if you've run through your motions and you're set, and you think that they're out of whack, it's how they're lined up on defense, you go ahead and snap it. So and I've seen them hold it, and I've seen them go quick, and you don't want to get it down to 1 and let them jump, or get it down to 4 and let them jump into another scheme. So if they've got what they like, they'll go ahead and snap it. Now, there's obviously times where when you're in the last 4 or 5 minutes, but I think at the 10-minute mark, whether you take off, an extra 5 seconds there and risk that they're going to jump into something that you don't like, that's probably what's going on, Ty.
We were speaking to Trey Knox earlier. It just seems like that he's not getting a lot of snaps. Like Clay mentioned, De'Vion Warren took a lot of his snaps in the Ole Miss game, especially in the second half. And that's just not just on Trey Knox. I know a lot of you have been angry with Felipe holding the ball too long. There's been cases he needs to throw it away. But it's also on the wide receivers to get open. There's been several times this season that Felipe has extended the play, and whether them not coming back to the ball or them not getting rid of their cornerback or safety, they have not gotten open and given a lot of help to Felipe Franks. Plus, there was a few drop balls in this past game against Ole Miss. The wide receivers against Texas A&M guys definitely have to step up if the offense is going to have more success, because especially in this past, and I know Traylon had a really good game and he was superb, but there were times during that game that the wide receivers did not give Felipe Franks any help whatsoever.
Yeah. There was protection at times, but it's not a perfect pocket. There's been 2 or 3 times where I thought, well, the guy's open and he's stepping away from, moving up in the pocket to pulling the ball away so somebody doesn't swipe at it. So the protection pocket has to be a little bigger, and so that he doesn't have to move so much. And he got flushed 2 or 3 times, and you're thinking, well, throw it, but he's got to move away from the defense first. So they're not in what I would call a perfect mesh in what they're doing in the passing game. And it would sure help if they could run it a little bit better. You can't just be pass. They haven't had the time to run the deep balls in the situations that they wanted to. So, yeah, they're going to get better, but getting a run game make everything better.
Yeah, and you brought up an interesting point that when you think about this game and what the defense has faced, this A&M offense is going to be a lot different. Auburn wants to run the football at you, but it's a little bit different style of run game. This defense is going to face the first challenge where you really want to hammer it inside and bring more up in the box, and it's not going to be what Arkansas saw with the Mississippi schools by any stretch.
Nope.
How does this defense do against a real old school isn't right, but
physical
running game between the tackles?
They're downhill.
How does this defense do? Because we haven't seen that yet.
And I think Spillers is big back, and he's downhill, and they're going to play with the tight end, and they're going to try to mash you, and you're going to have to man up against that, and they will run between the tackles and try to beat you up and wear you down, and it'll be some play action passing with Mon. The thing that we've seen is that he will throw it up for grabs some. And so there'll be some opportunities, but you're going to have to stop the run.
Yeah. All right, we're going to get into your Hob update momentarily. I want to get into some breaking news out of the SEC that we got yesterday.
Hey, I want to tell you about our friends Nick and Ellie Glidewell, real estate agents right now that can help you make the right decision when it comes to selling your home. The real estate market is red hot right now. The only problem is there's not enough inventory on the market because everything is selling so fast. Buyers are taking advantage of historic low interest rates. So if you've been on the fence about whether or not to sell your home, now is the time, but you need the right real estate agents to help you make the most of it and to get the highest price for your home. You need Nick and Ellie Glidewell. They bring all the bells and whistles, professional photography, professional drone video of your home and your property, 3D home tours, open houses, social media blast, and much, much more. Find them on Facebook. Just search Nick and Ellie Glidewell or go to their website, nickandellie.com, to read more about the real estate agents that can go to work for you. Hey, the real estate market is red hot right now. If you're on the fence, now is the time. Nick and Ellie Glidewell. Go to nickandellie.com.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Arkansas wins the national championship! The Arkansas Razorbacks have completed the dream season!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush.
Out of the SEC office yesterday, Hudson Clark named SEC Freshman of the Week, and then Grant Morgan named SEC Co-Defensive Player of the Week. And Clay was talking about earlier that Grant is probably going to be in line for the Nagurski, which is something Nagurski Player of the Week. Clay, do you know when that is going to be announced, man?
It's usually midday Tuesday.
Midday Tuesday? Okay, so we'll keep our eyes and ears peeled
today
for that announcement on if Grant is given that award. But cool recognition coming out of the SEC office as far as that is concerned. And then speaking of Hudson Clark, I know many of you have been asking, hey, Coach, when are you going to put him on scholarship? Well, this was Sam Pittman on Justin Moore's podcast over the weekend about how as of January, Hudson is going to be put on scholarship.
I called Hudson Clark last evening, asked him to come see me, and we're out of scholarships right now at this day, but in January we're going to put him on scholarship.
That's awesome.
I think he's earned that, and we're awful happy to be able to do that. But he was happy and excited, and probably thought in his mind it's about time. But we were happy to be able to give him.
So really cool to hear that news over the weekend, and I know everyone is excited to hear that Hudson is going to be eventually put on scholarship. It is a Toyota Tuesday. Make sure you check out the full lineup of 2020 Toyotas, including the Camry, the Corolla, the Prius, the Avalon, or the spacious crossover RAV4. Do it here in Arkansas at your local Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. More awards conversation coming up.
This is Toyota Tuesday on the Morning Rush. Get by your local Toyota dealer for a test drive today. Toyota, let's go places.
Breen RV and Van Buren is having their last sale of the year. Despite COVID-19's best effort, we are still getting in new trailers in weekly, and they are marked down as soon as they hit the lot. Browse Breen RV's selection of Forest River, Dutchman, Thor, and Coachman products and pick out the best fit for you. You can buy with ease knowing that your new purchase comes with free maintenance for life. Once you're ready to hibernate for the winter, bring your camper into us for deluxe winterization specials, starting at just $99. Breen RV will work on all makes and models, and don't forget that all their accessories are installed for free. The Breen RV Center in Van Buren, your friends in the RV business.
Build your business with 100% fiber, internet, voice, and cloud services from Ritter Communications. Whether you're a one-man woodworking shop who needs fast, reliable internet complete with TV service, or you're a construction enterprise needing managed voice and networking to connect your multiple sites, our helpful, Arkansas-based team will create a custom solution for you. Visit RitterBusiness.com or give them a call at 888-336-4249 to learn more.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer. The biggest selection and the lowest prices on a new Buick are at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. The 2020 Buick Encore has plenty of cargo space and it's loaded with technology, only $19,995. And the 2020 Buick Envision has all the features and seating for 5. Take $9,000 off, only $28,985. The biggest selection and the lowest prices are at Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Craving prime rib this morning? Hardee's introduces the new prime rib and fried egg biscuit. We took tender prime rib and put it on a fluffy made-from-scratch biscuit. Yeah, that's right. We made prime rib for breakfast. Premium, juicy, sliced prime rib for breakfast. And then we topped it with a freshly cracked fried egg and melted Swiss. Why? We knew you needed it, that's why. The new prime rib and fried egg biscuit from Hardee's. Feed your happy. Available for a limited time during breakfast hours at participating restaurants. Price and participation may vary.
Your number one Arkansas fan, Auto Owners Insurance and Kohler and Green Insurance is a winning combination. We will work with you to insure your home, auto, business, and life to keep everything you value safe, sound, secure. Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. Visit Kohler and Green Insurance in Fort Smith. Call 484-9888. And Kohler and Green Insurance in Van Buren. Call 474-9888 today or online at kohlergreen.com.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-64.
For the month of October, Frankfurt Furniture is offering no sales tax. That's right, Frankfurt Furniture is offering no sales tax for the month of October.
We also offer in-store no-credit check financing, delivery service, and service after the sale. At Frankfurt Furniture, we are family-owned, and we pride ourselves in carrying as many made-in-the-USA products as possible.
Remember, in October, no sales tax at Frankfurt Furniture, your made-in-the-USA headquarters. Frankfurt Furniture, best seats in the house.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo Amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
Brandon gets the snap. He's going to keep the football into the end zone. Arkansas wins. The Razorbacks win. The Razorbacks have won the football game.
Video streaming live on Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube.
The only thing that I watch on Facebook is the Morning Rush. That's it.
A lot of Arkansas players and coaches have stood out this season. Does that mean they're in line for some of the prestigious awards seen across college football? We'll get in that conversation coming up here on the Morning Rush. And I'll tell you, the most prestigious award you can win in football is a Super Bowl. And our guy, Brett Good, he's been a part of one of those teams.
Yeah, he'll be with us tomorrow. We'll talk about special teams and where the Razorbacks are at, headed into the bye week. He'll join us then. He's also joined the team at Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions. So if you're needing to talk with someone about employee benefits, health insurance, staffing management solutions, commercial or personal insurance needs. Maybe you just need to talk about insurance for your vehicle. Call Brett. He can help you with that. 479-651-2292. That's 651-2292, Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley, or anywhere you're listening this morning. Call Brett. He'd love to help you. 479-651-2292 for Brett Good with Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions.
So we've heard from many different people over at ESPN, whether it's Laura Rutledge, whether it's Matt Berry, Joey Galloway, Jesse Palmer. The list goes on and on and on, that Sam Pittman is up for the Coach of the Year award. Now, to move on from that, Barry Odom, the way his defense has performed this season, he's going to be aligned for the Broyles Award. Now, Clay, you brought up that Grant Morgan, potentially Hudson Clark, will be looked at as Burlsworth Trophy possible contenders. You look at the All-SEC list that hopefully Arkansas is going to be a part of. Bumper Pool, Grant Morgan, Jalen Catalon, Traylon Burks. Those are some names that stands out. The Butkus Award given to the best linebacker in college football. I think Grant Morgan and Bumper Pool are going to have something to say about that. And then just, this isn't necessarily an award or trophy, guys, but maybe the biggest surprise in college football has been the Arkansas Razorbacks. So there's just a lot of good social media, good buzz on college football shows around this team right now. And now it's about closing out the season. Not asking you to win the next 6, but at least giving people continuous reasons that you should still be mentioned in college football daily conversation.
Yeah, I think you add in Jonathan Marshall as somebody that the NFL scouts are drooling over.
Yes.
He could not be maybe he's not all SEC. His stats haven't been that great. But as far as somebody that's controlling the line of scrimmage and knocking players back into the quarterback, and he makes plays in special teams. I mean, he's downfield making tackles on punts and kickoffs, and he's if you want to just put your field glasses on somebody and enjoy watching somebody that plays the game the right way, watch Jonathan Marshall, because he's a joy to watch.
And he gets double teamed a lot of times. He commands that double team, and he controls the A gap. He is the reason the secondary is able to have the success they have, because he's putting it up
the
pressure.
linebackers.
And the linebackers too, of course. But he is the reason. He and the rest of that defensive line, if they don't work, if they're not effective, if they're not pressuring the quarterback, the secondary doesn't have the success they have. So it all goes hand in hand.
Yeah, Jalen Catalon is to me, he's the reincarnation of the Honey Badger. I mean, he's around the ball, he makes plays. He's stripped the ball a couple of times in fumbles. Yep. He's going to be the guy on a fumble. He's like a coach on the field. You know, he played quarterback in high school, understands what's coming, how to play it, and how to read the eyes of the quarterback. And it is. I thought he would be an impact player, but he's probably exceeded my expectations.
Yeah. He's been incredible. And you mentioned, I mean, the Honey Badger, that's one of the most prolific defensive players, not only the past decade, but in the history of the Southeastern Conference. Clay, he had the forced fumble against Georgia. He had the fumble recovery against Ole Miss. He had the INT pick 6 against Ole Miss. This guy is just around the football and making plays. On top of all the turnovers that he's forced / been a part of, he's also probably the hardest hitter on the team. Now, Bumper Pool would have to say something about that, the way he cleaned up DeJuan Mathis in game number 1. But he nearly took out Elijah Moore. And I'm not advocating for anyone to get injured by any means, but whether it was the Georgia game, the ferocious hit he had there, the hit on Elijah Moore, he's probably had 1 or 2 that I'm forgetting. This guy just lays the wood, and as small as he is, he's so compact, and he's hitting guys a lot of times that are bigger than him. It has been awesome to watch a guy. I mean, Arkansas's had a Kenoy Kennedy, a Tony Bua, guys that can bring it. Jalen Catalon is definitely in that category, y'all.
Yeah, and he had surgery on his knee for a meniscus tear in August, and I mean, you couldn't tell it by watching him play. I mean, he's they call him the Iron Man. Of course, he missed his senior year at Mansfield Legacy with a torn ACL. He was, I give Chad Morris credit. He got the commitment from him early in his high school career, and he was one of the top 3 or 4 players in Texas at that time. So he was highly regarded, but he is living up to his would you say his advertising?
Yeah. And you wonder, as a redshirt freshman, how good can he be the next couple of years for you?
Well, he just needs to stay healthy on the field because, like you say, he is a little guy and he will give up his shoulders. I mean, he's in. Guys, those hits, when he hit more, I thought, they're going to review this. This might be targeting. But, I mean, the hit was perfect. It was a perfect football play. And that seems to be the way these guys play. They don't take any cheap shots, but they bring their pads.
Yep. Absolutely. Fun player to watch. We're brought to you by NWA Gold and Silver, Bentonville, Fayetteville, and in Fort Smith. If you've got gold or silver coins, silver flatware, old jewelry that's out of style, that gold pendant that you've had in a jewelry box for quite a while now, you're never going to wear again, why not bring them to NWA Gold and Silver? Turn those into cash. The price of gold right now is at all-time highs. The price of silver's on the rise. So what you have in that jewelry box, that safety deposit box at the bank, what you have in that gun safe could be worth hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars. Those rare coins right now are worth more than ever. Take it to NWA Gold and Silver. Find out what it's worth. 1130 North Walton in Bentonville. You'll find them in Nelson's Crossing by Jason's Deli in Fayetteville. And you'll find them on Rogers Avenue above Central Mall in Fort Smith. That's NWA Gold and Silver, Bentonville, Fayetteville, and in Fort Smith, the people that pay the most.
Next Saturday is going to be the determining game, who's the second best team in the SEC West. You got to get healthy for that game. We'll talk about how Arkansas needs to do just that on the Morning Rush.
This is Toyota.
The month of October, Frankfurt Furniture is offering no sales tax. That's right, Frankfurt Furniture is offering no sales tax for the month of October.
We also offer in-store no-credit check financing, delivery service, and service after the sale. At Frankfurt Furniture, we are family-owned, and we pride ourselves in carrying as many made-in-the-USA products as possible.
Remember, in October, no sales tax at Frankfurt Furniture, your made-in-the-USA headquarters. Frankfurt Furniture, best seats in the house.
When you're looking for outdoor power equipment, head to R-Track, where we've got the area's best selection of tractors and mowers. Check out our side-by-side UTVs, Argo amphibious XTVs, and Hammerhead go-karts. We rent professional quality equipment and service everything we sell. Stop by today. Get the R-Track advantage.
Off I-40 at exit 58 at 219 East Taylor Road in Clarksville. You can check out their inventory online at rtrack.com.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
This is Pastor Heath from Woodland. I know some of these ads make you glad, but most probably make you mad. The reason is people believe the lie that heals is better than the truth that hurts. Our purpose at Woodland is to risk the hurt by exposing the lies so you can be wise unto salvation. If you'd like to know more, check out our website, woodlandpeople.church. There you can download our app and listen to our podcast. That's woodlandpeople.church.
America, starting right here in Arkansas. We are blessed with abundant natural resources, timber, water, energy, and soil. Good people who are willing to work hard, and the fortitude to lead a great American comeback. You see, Arkansas has what America needs. I'm Congressman Bruce Westerman. It's an honor to represent Arkansas and its hardworking families in the United States Congress, and I approve of this message.
Paid for by Bruce Westerman for Congress.
You always get more at
We always put the customer first at Orr Chevrolet in Fort Smith. Since 1924, the Orr family of dealerships has grown based on one simple principle. Give the customer more money for their trades and give them a lower price on their new vehicle. It's a simple concept, really, but one that very few dealers honor anymore. Hey, we know you paid a lot of money for your vehicle, and Orr Chevrolet wants to pay you the maximum amount for it today. Then we'll give you an awesome price on a new Chevrolet. But we're not done giving you more. Included with any new vehicle sold, Orr Chevy will also give you a lifetime powertrain warranty, 2 years of free maintenance, and free car washes for life. So come get a lower price and more money for your trade today at Orr Chevrolet on Auto Park Drive in Fort Smith and 24/7 at OrChevyFS.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You always get more at Orr.
Doe's Eat Place is now open to serve you the award-winning steaks you've been missing, along with your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Doe's Eat Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Doe's Eat Place welcomes their loyal diners back and new diners to experience the best steaks, atmosphere, and service in the River Valley. The patio is also open for your dining pleasure. Just call for reservations. Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Wave Rural Connect is bringing state-of-the-art fiber internet, TV, and phone service to your home. Get amazingly fast fiber internet as low as $49.95 per month. TV packages start at $32.95. Fiber phone service starts at $29.95. Go to signup.waveruralconnect.com or call 1-833-4WAVE-RC to find out if we're installing in your area. Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Hi, I'm Greg Magnus, and I'm running for Sebastian County Circuit Judge.
We've been all around Sebastian County asking voters who they're supporting for Circuit Judge, and this is what we're hearing.
Greg Magnus.
Oh, Greg Magnus, of course.
Greg Magnus is a Christian gentleman, a caring family man, and a well-respected attorney.
Greg possesses a great deal of knowledge, experience, character, and integrity.
Your vote is important. My name is Greg Magnus, and I'm asking for your vote on November 3rd.
And paid for by the committee to elect Greg Magnus.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here from Rath Auto Resources. I'm shocked it's October already. This year's gone by so fast it's scary. Now I'm afraid I'm not going to hit my goals. So I'm rolling out my most shocking deals yet. It's my Shocktober sales event. Swap your current car for one of our Rath Road Ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center, and priced to save you money. So dump that pumpkin that's haunting your driveway. Trade and save on a nicer, newer car today. Are past credit problems keeping you up at night? Don't be scared. My For the People credit approval process is a treat, and our friendly, non-commissioned sales staff can help you get the nicer, newer car you want at a price and payment that fits your budget. Keeping the car you have? Let us get it ready for fall in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes, buy 3, get 1 free on all tires, or call ahead and set up your free winter-ready inspection. It's the Shocktober sales event, only in Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
It's Warren. Devion at the 5. Touchdown, Arkansas. Devion Warren on the screen, and the Hogs are right back in it.
Streaming live at hitthatline.com.
How important is it for Arkansas to get healthy against Texas A&M? I'd say it's pretty big. This is the biggest game to this point that you played on the road. Top 10 team in the country, a team that you haven't beat as of today in 3,307 days. So you need a full stocked cupboard when you take on Jimbo Fisher and the Texas A&M Aggies. We'll get into that conversation coming up. Before we do that, I want to tell you about one of our favorite places, River City Bistro.
I was noticing on the menu those homemade potato chips, which you can get as a side with any of their great sandwiches or really anything on the menu. They do this dill sauce that they make right there, too, that, you know, it's always an option to add that. I always recommend that because it's a great dipping sauce with those homemade potato chips that they make fresh every day there. It is, it's the way to go. They got some great sides, too. Their homemade potato chips, which I just mentioned, their potato salad, and the macaroni salad. Have you tried that over there yet?
I have not, but I had my favorite, the chicken caprese, on Sunday watching NFL football, and it was glorious.
Try that macaroni salad that goes with it as well. My kids love the macaroni and cheese over there, so there's something for the kids. There's something for mom and dad on the menu. My wife loves the chicken salad. You can get that with the bagel crisps, and that works out real well. So a lot of great stuff. They do a brunch on the weekends that is a favorite around the radio station here. So people stop in and you can do that. They start at 10 on Saturday and Sunday. Always a great way to start a weekend, and particularly when the Hogs are playing an afternoon time or an evening time, it's a great way to start the day at River City Bistro. Locally owned, great people with Bruce and Michelle. You can order online. You can look at the menu online, rcbistro.com, or stop in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center for lunch or dinner today, 7320 Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith.
So you were giving me a hard time yesterday about my attire because I was dressed so nice. Would that be the word? I was wearing a
nicer than usual.
Nicer than usual.
Nice button-down dress shirt on yesterday, which was out of the norm for you.
You haven't said anything about my shirt today. Have you noticed it?
It's a yes sir T-shirt.
Yes.
It's got the state outline. It just says yes sir in the Sam Pittman style.
Do you like it?
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah,
pretty cool. Yeah. My buddy Chris Marler over at Saturday on South sent it to me, and I'll give Chris texted me out of the blue on Sunday. He just says, "I love Sam Pittman," and I think that's kind of the consensus right now within the college football world, that you just have these people that are coming out of the woodworks to give credit and appreciate your program. And if you think it's crazy now, I can't even tell you the outburst and the outcry that will be if Arkansas beats Texas A&M next Saturday. And, Tommy, you've been talking about this. Clay, you weren't here yesterday, but it's almost like you want the game to be played Saturday. Like, you don't want to have to wait more than – now, technically you do, because you want these guys back in order so you have a better chance to win. But as an Arkansas fan, you almost want it to be played Saturday. Clay, Monteric Brown, Bumper Pool, Dorian Gerald, a not fully healthy Rakeem Boyd, not fully healthy Traylon Burks. There's probably some other guys that I failed to mention, but this team needs to get healthy.
Grant Morgan can use 2 weeks. Yeah,
he can use 2 months.
I mean, it's they'll be in much better shape. And you'd think normally during a bye week you'd scrimmage the young guys, and Sam says no, we're probably not going to do that because all the young guys are playing.
Yep.
They are already scrimmaging. They've had 4 scrimmages already, but it's going to be fun. But it's I can take advantage of the open week. By the way, we're doing something a little different at Hogs Illustrated this week. We're usually we don't print a magazine the weekend of the open date, but we're going to print our basketball preview.
There you go.
Which has been a lot of fun. I worked on the last 2 days. We've always made that just one of our regular issues during football season, and this year with this bye week and one less game to cover as far as magazines, we just said, okay, we'll just make one our hoops preview. So that working on that and lining up features, and we got a lot of practice art from the university, all the new players, and I'm not sure this is going to be the cover, but I've got a picture from the red-white game of Eric Musselman talking to Connor Vanover, and Coach Muss's face is like even with Connor's belly button, so it's kind of been interesting. This team is going to be a lot taller than last, so at least this is our little brief respite during football season to mention that the basketball team's pretty good too.
So are you going to get a little insight or a little scoop on the schedule? Because that's the big mystery right now.
No, I don't think we'll have a schedule.
Yeah,
no, we won't have a schedule printed in it. Yeah, don't have a schedule for the men or the women. Mike Neighbors' team, they're still all trying to figure out. They're going to have some bubble situations where they bring some teams together for, bring 4 or 5 teams together for 2 games. It might be one of those type tournament looks or whatever in Fayetteville, something that you didn't know or could have foreseen during the off season. Your schedule is, I think, from listening to Coach Muss talk, the schedule has probably changed daily. Different aspects of it as you look around the country and different conferences are having different takes of when basketball should be played, and are they going to allow their teams to travel? I mean, it's unique, just like it was this summer with football. No one's really pulled the trigger and said this is our schedule yet. And with COVID surging again, I get it. It's tough. It's tough to make those kind of decisions, and I think there's a lot of Razorback fans that are sitting on pins and needles. Is like, this isn't the year I want to be picking a 4-game home package.
Yeah.
I want my season tickets, but I'm afraid that's what's going to happen.
I think the schools and the leagues are learning a lot from football about how to implement policy, how to handle things for basketball by just learning what works, what doesn't work from what they've done in football. And
I've been reading
administrative-wise, all these things, because they've been testing players 3 times a week in football.
Yep.
I think they're learning that is something we want to do for basketball. They're
no question. Yep. How about this? They're practicing basketball in the Pac-12, but they're not allowed to pass the basketball.
Norman Dell would not approve.
Can you believe that?
Yeah.
Huh?
Norman Dell and Hoosiers would not approve. Gene Hackman would not.
Yeah, how about Eddie Sutton?
Yeah.
It's like no passes.
Yeah.
No passes. You can dribble and you can shoot, and you keep your own basketball. And before you pass it, we're gonna clean it. It's just like, no. I just wonder if there's somebody there, the COVID NCAA or the COVID Pac-12 guy that's filming, and is like, you guys just passed it. No.
Well,
So.
Sure, Mick Cronin out of UCLA, Sean Miller out of Arizona, and all the other coaches within the Pac-12 are just thrilled to fall under that rule, and they're just absolutely ecstatic that they have to abide by that. That's just the dumbest thing I've heard all day.
Had you not heard that?
No, I had not. You can't pass a basketball
in practice.
Can you rebound over? Can you touch someone?
I don't think you can. I think you can just dribble and you can shoot, and then somebody has to clean the ball.
Ugh. That's why I don't live in California, because of stupid stuff like that. All right, let's go to the phone lines. Welcome in Robert in Fort Smith. Robert, you're on the Morning Rush, man.
Hey, guys, I've got to agree with Gary, though, this morning. Or not Gary, but Eddie, because he's right. The offense has got to help us out, And y'all all know that. I mean, if they don't, we're not going to win all these games. And if they'll just help out the defense just halfway and get us there. I think there is a possibility of winning more than 3 games.
I mean, he had 7 turnovers and scored 2 offensive touchdowns. I mean,
exactly. So have a good one, guys.
Appreciate the call, Robert. Yeah. What have I told you all off season long? All off season long when it comes to Kendall Priles. All off season, what I've said. Where is he not coach?
Well, the SEC. Okay.
The SEC. And
said a lot of things. I didn't know where you were wanting to go with
this
that.
This waiting period for Kendall is going to be – now, we didn't think it was going to be this extent where the defense is light years ahead of the offense. But, Clay, this is something that you don't actually realize until you're in the thick of the things, and that is being in the Southeastern Conference. The thing you did in the ACC, the Big 12, the American Athletic, it is just not the same as when you try to attempt something in the SEC. And on top of all that, on top of catching up with all that, you didn't have any spring ball, and you had to do a bunch of stuff virtually.
And you didn't have, I mean, someday you're going to get this, Ty. I mean, we're going to say it. Tommy and I are going to say it often enough, and we're going to pound it into you that you learn football. Until you have an offensive line, the plays don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
And if you'll go back and you look at that offense that they had at Baylor, they had great offensive linemen. I mean, not good ones. I mean, they had 340, 330. They had some beast of burden. And Sam Pittman knows what to do, they'll get them some offensive line players. But it is really hard to call plays when you don't have a consistent running game and you don't have an offensive line.
And I'd say that Arkansas's only played one great defense so far, and that's Georgia. They played a good defense with Auburn. And the Mississippi schools are just they're below average by SEC standards in defense. So I mean, you hadn't played the great ones yet. You played one great one in Georgia.
Isn't it kind of fun to say you're a state champ of Mississippi?
It is
quite fun.
I think you beat Southern Miss.
They should have dominated Ole Miss this weekend on offense, and they weren't able to do that. So that should worry you when you go up against Jimbo Fisher's. I think Mike Elko's still the DC over there, so that should worry you a little bit as far as what your offensive line. And Clay, it's not that I completely agree. I don't think I've said otherwise that you can't have an offensive line that can't have offensive success. I was just pointing out other things that have definitely attributed to the lack of success so far with Kendall Browse in the offense. But maybe more than a week, maybe really grilling into the offensive line, because we've seen this defense, which I wouldn't advertise as the most talented defense in the SEC, but they've given effort and they're well coached and they're showing up. So we'll see if schematically and just as far as the offensive line is concerned that they can get a push against Texas A&M. But we got a lot to talk about before then, because we're still Texas A&M not this week. The following week, Arkansas gets a much-needed bye to rest up some players as far as that is concerned.
Ain't it great, though? You got a bye week to enjoy a win, and then another week leading up to A&M. And well, these last couple, when you lose going into a bye, it just stinks to have 2 weeks of that bitter taste in your mouth. So it's fun winning going into a bye.
And I would just guess, based on the performance so far compared to last season, you're probably going to look a little better against Texas A&M than you did coming off the bye week in Lexington against Kentucky last year. Just a guess. Who knows? We'll see next week. For Clay Henry, Matt Jenkins, and Tommy Kraft, I'm Ty Richardson. We will talk to you tomorrow. Brett Good, former Arkansas Razorback, joins us at 7:20.
Pre-order your hot spring spa and beat